Bounce back the week after on the road to Geelong. SUNS, well, that was a big response, wasn't it? They go down the MCG, defeat Collingwood. Sydney beat them here, and then the next week on the road again in Perth by 57 points. The only problem is, if you actually look at the trend here, the only problem is the Lions are playing at home. So their home records haven't been great. Their responses have actually come on the road this year.
Although they have beaten the Gold Coast here the last 7 starts. But the Gold Coast Suns, David King, they don't mess around. First quarters, they are dynamite.
No, it's important, isn't it, to dictate terms. Which coach's box takes ascendancy, because we know the Suns jump out of the blocks quickly and they like to take control. Have you got your matchups right? They're either right or wrong. We saw last night, the first couple of minutes of the game, bang, bang, 2 goals on the board before you can actually catch your breath. So you've got to be ready. The Brisbane Lions have got to be ready for the fast-starting Suns.
3-time premiership line, Alistair Lynch is on the boundary. Lynchy.
Howie, yeah, great atmosphere down here. Q Crush 30, as you said, and this is clearly the biggest rivalry between these two teams. It probably started out 15 years ago, and it's probably a little bit fabricated. The nicest man in the world, Simon Black, was even throwing barbs down the road, but once Dane Zorko got overlooked by the Gold Coast and came up to eventually captain and be a premiership player with the Brisbane Lions, he became the flag bearer for the spite between these two teams, and especially as the man we just saw on screen then before, Toot Miller. Last start, it was the Gold Coast Suns. After a good solid 10 minutes from Brisbane early, it was all the Suns, but last start here at the Gabba in Q Clash 28, the Lions came flying out of the blocks and hit the Suns with everything. This should be a ripper game in what will be a classic encounter, Howie.
Just about ready in the middle of the subs today, once again reprising his role in game 249, David Swallow. The hero last week is the sub for the Gold Coast Suns, and Bruce Reville is the sub for the Brisbane Lions as we head out on a perfect night for footy into the middle of the Gabba.
League and its premier partner Toyota welcomes you to the 2025 Toyota AFL Finals Series, and tonight to the second semi-final between the Brisbane Lions and the Gold Coast Suns. The AFL acknowledges the Yagara and Turrbal people, the traditional owners of the land we gather on today, and pay our respects to elders past and present. We acknowledge we play a great game on this land and respect the cultures of all First Peoples, their contribution to our nation and contribution to the game of Australian rules football. To conduct an official welcome to country, please welcome Aaron Ruska.
Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Aaron Ruskin. I'm a descendant of the Yagara peoples. Yagara country, which we are gathered upon tonight, stretches from the mouth of the Brisbane River out to the Great Dividing Ranges at the foothills of the Warwick and the Toowoomba Range, back down south to the Logan River, and as far north as the Pine River. Within our Yagara country, we have several sub-clans occupying different areas. For example, I descend from 3 major tribes of the area, the Turrbal, the Gurapuru, and also the Yugurapuru. As we all gather tonight on Yagara country, and as I welcome everyone here, I call upon my ancestors. Meaning we're all welcome to gather on Yagara country, and may God and all of our ancestors guide us as we journey in peace. Nanya, thank you and welcome.
If you're able, may you please now rise, remove your hats, and join with coaches, players, and umpires for the Australian National Anthem to be performed by Jude York.
Our land abounded nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance its strength yet fair. In joyful strength, then let us sing. Advance Australia
Big finish from Jude York, absolutely packed at the Gabba, and Dwayne Russell, what a night this is for football in Queensland.
Well, a pick in the house as well, Howie, which is great to see. So many have made the journey down the road. The growth factor of the Suns, they've risen from 13th last year in year one under Damien Harwick to become a genuine contender in his second year as coach, and he's got the magic touch. 14 seasons at the Tigers, the 3 premierships there, a couple of premierships with Port Adelaide and Essendon as a player, so who's to say what they can do next? They could knock over the Lions here and they could still do some damage the last couple of weeks of the season.
Yeah, believes the word, Dwayne. You're right. It's and that has been the missing link for them. And now the players believe in the Gold Coast Suns. We've spoken about the talent for many years, but when this guy stands in front of the group, they believe. He's got such a presence. He's done an unbelievable job with him in his second season. And they come into this game with every chance, King.
They do. I just feel like game on the inside, it's going to favour the Suns. They are tough. They're seriously tough as a midfield core. There's no doubt about that. It all starts with the big ruckman, but game on the outside, if it can be played in an open, free-flowing sense, that will favour the Lions.
Absolutely. And that man, Darcy Wilmot, King, he's a real key to it. He's the guy that gets him running off halfback. We often speak about Dane Zorko. Fletcher's been good there as well, but he's like the energizer man there. Rated 22 by the end of the season in the competition, so his star is quickly rising. But I felt as if Geelong put a fair bit of work into him last week here. Talk about that ball movement from end to end. He's a key player.
Yeah, Fletcher, Zorko, Wilmot, they're the ones that are going to take the biggest risks of all, and that's back into corridor. They love biting off corridor at the Gabba. They'll play aggressively. We heard Chris Fagan, that's their signature, that's their trademark. They're not going to die wondering. They can't play careful with his exact words, and I think you'll see them in full flight tonight. There's Dane Zorko. What are they going to do about him, the Suns? Are they going to put a tag to him? Are they worried about his counter punch? Just make his way now to the half-back flank area. Looks ready to go. He couldn't be, could he? It looks like he's going to Toot Miller. Wow.
How good.
Wow.
The scriptwriters have got a hold of him.
All set to go, the ultimate cute clash. Calling it away. Time to get it on in Queensland. Saturday night football on Fox with Dwayne Russell.
Are you ready for this? The biggest cute clash in history. Season over for the loser. Prelim final for the winner. Great to have your company on Fox Footy. Powell quickly tackled by Dunkley. Went to the deck and it's a slick holding the ball decision. Dunkley to take the free in the middle. Hands it off to Bailey. It's some room to move. Goes long, goal square. McAndrew got a fist on it, knocked it down dangerously towards the line, and it's taken through for a behind.
McInerney deep forward early. It's Rioli back in the side.
Andrews has gone to Farah. He's looking to zone off. He's looking to read the game. He wants to be that intercept marker. Can Farah keep him honest?
Gee whiz, keep an eye on Zorko and Toot Miller. He hits McAndrew nicely. There's Rioli. The hero, when he went forward last week against the Dockers.
Play on. Mid two. Yep.
Drives it as far down the line as he can. Andrews will impact the contest.
Wits.
It's a free kick to Jared Witts.
Yeah, big match-up tonight. So Darcy Ford and Oscar McInerney will try and tag team Jared Witts, one of the premier big men in the competition. Yeah, clear free kick there.
Come on.
Ethan Reid, the other one, is going to have to play a big role for the Suns, given the double team, for which short pass is good. Noble having a sensational year.
Move out.
What does he want to do? It's a cautious start with the Suns in possession. Now he launches it. Chance for Long to get up there. Got up there, didn't quite bring it down. Andrew got a handball up in the congestion. Big pack around it. And Zorko found the handle. Gardner heads out wide. Just smashed away in the end by Marshall. But it's coming straight back. Rioli
He looks around to see what he's got on offer. He's just beyond his range and he knows it. Here's to Ewan to set it up.
Also so important with that contested mark late last week, the number 32. Again, a patient waiting game as they eventually send it forward. Andrews gives him a chance to Bidmark take it in the pack. And it's a big night for this young man. He's had a wonderful season as king, and can he really stamp himself as a power forward tonight?
He's done it a few times the last couple of weeks. Out of this part to his game, the contested mark. Look at the early push. Bang. Makes contact, initiates contact, put Gardner just off enough, and then a strong grab in the end with Harris Andrews coming over. Just wasn't doing this enough early in the season to establish control of that drop zone. Fantastic.
For a 254th goal, which will tie Tom Lynch as the most goals for a Gold Coast Sun. He does just that, and there's good support too, and the Suns are on board first.
That's all you want as a key forward, King. Starts well, strong mark, contested mark. It's almost the perfect start.
Yeah, and Harris Andrews couldn't quite get there. So Farah's done his job in dragging him away, giving some isolation. You can just see bottom of screen there, little check on Gardner. He's just trying to get across again. Farah caused a bit of confusion. Now Harris's eyes go back to Farah, and it's too late. He now can't get there. Big win for that pairing. They've got to defeat Harris Andrews. What a start for Ben King.
70 for the season as well. An accurate 70 goals, 22. It's a big difference maker. Didn't kick a goal last week, but had a better game than that suggests. And there it is. He's about to become the greatest goal kicker in Suns history with one more from the scramble. Fort manhandle, still in there. Was that a kick? Umpire said keep going. Zorko towards Archie. Thumped away, congestion, round the congestion, loves it in the heat of the kitchen. Davies was slick, middle was great. Anderson on the move, he bangs it long, is it strong? It is! Keeps on, keep it on, does Noah Anderson.
Rowell and Anderson involved again like a big ball, wasn't he? Rowell through the centre of the ground there, just barged his way through, kept the ball moving forward. That's what you need in finals. Keep it moving in the direction of your goals. Damien Hardwick, obviously still down in his Richmond Premiership teams. They're following the same method here, King.
Well, they're proactive, they're on the move, they're ready to excite, ready to explode. You've got to maintain contact on Anderson. As soon as the ball's in general play, one-handing's not good enough at this level. This is a cutthroat final. Not good enough from Marshall, and he's made to pay the ultimate price. Anderson, dangerous. Anywhere inside 65, his eyes just lit up. What a start.
He's done that well this year, King.
That's his hunting ground right there. Corridor, 50 to 60 from goal. I reckon he's kicked 8 goals from there this season alone.
Shades of the Hawks last night. Wits, can they go again, the Suns? Important clearance. Rain, a big night for him. Left foot speculated to the outer side. Collins leads. In front of McInerney, runs off from the mark safely.
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it? Not playing a permanent forward there. Oscar McInerney trying to play that role. He'll obviously play in the ruck as well, but playing on an All-Australian calibre defender in Sam Collins.
Confident start from the Suns. Fiorini heads out wide. Woods got there. Good park in front of Fort. Been a dominant force all year. Hands it off to Noble. Gets some air in it. Can King get there? He does, and he crushed it down. Good competing. Straight to Miller. Knocks it to Long. Under siege here at the moment. The Lions. Dunkley went back. Harris Andrews floats it wide. The big O was held. Good to have him back.
Get away with one there. Wilmot handballed that ball directly to Hugh McCluggage.
The Lions just looking to get a bit of possession.
This is where they're dangerous. If they can get it to a kicker, they'll seek corridor. You can see the Suns putting numbers in the middle of the ground now to ensure they can't come through uncontested.
Still choked up in the middle. That's where the skipper looks. Still looks in that direction.
Oh, blanket over him there in the centre square.
And just clogged it up nicely. Kick mark going the Brisbane favour. Zorko, so important, kicking. And he's aggressive and hits Berry.
Yeah, he's fantastic. quick user of the ball, and he gets it back, does Zorko. Another spear pass inside 50. Charlie crunched off hands though. Ashcroft, good find, gave it off. This will be massive. Inside kick though, instead from Marshall. Might still work. The sling, Morris around the body, got it. Desperately needed that.
Well, Zorko lands a big blow. I mean, that is all Dane Zorko at half-back. He bites off the almost impossible through the corridor.
Ordinary kick, wasn't it? Just hit the instep. Get away with it.
I don't think he absolutely flushed it, Brownie, but just look at the dare in this. And this is what we're talking about. That's the gap right there between winning big games of football and losing them. And he's prepared to take that responsibility. Follows up and says, all right, Miller, you want to play? Let's play.
It's a secondary kick that he often gets, Kingy, the second part of the chain. That's the most dangerous one, isn't it?
Yeah.
They really can't allow him to get that secondary kick.
They needed one of the tools to get going, Brownie. I just wonder if that's the sort of opportunity there from Morris that allows him to light up.
Well, they've been the best in the comp, moving it from defensive 50 to forward 50. The problem is they've been nearly the worst in the comp when the ball goes inside forward 50, so their contests head of the ball need to be better.
Massive outing last week versus the Cats as a hole in the middle. So McCluggage, he's still got that heavy knee bandage that he sported last week. First clear possession. Collins, Andrew comes from behind. Hand pass needs to be good. Powell scurries it away out of the defensive area as best he can. He's got the runners now. Flanders hits the target wide.
Butterick has a look around, see if he wants to go quickly.
This matchup's out of the ball, so Starcevich, a key matchup on Long. He's had a fantastic year being Long.
Down the line he travels. Long did go for it, but Fort had the reach. Holding it in one hand to assess what's on. Of course, you're starting away from both teams until they can set it up the field as they want it, and that's 50. That's a massive advantage. Giving one of those away when he was hemmed in the back pocket.
And Stainsworth on the inside there. Just moved on the umpire call stand. Expect to watch that closely.
Lions fans, if you haven't seen Kyle Oman yet, keep an eye out for him. You won't recognise him. You won't spoil the story if you haven't seen it, but he looks like Starcevich. McCluggage whips it out wide for 2 in a minute. Not quite across the face.
So they're looking for deep entries here. Very deep. They're attacking almost the goal square, trying to put the acid on the key backs, not just Sam Collins, but the other defensive players.
That'll play in the hands of their ruckman, mate. Playing Fort and McInerney as backup key forwards. That's better than kicking to them on the leads. Yeah, so I think that's going to be part of the strategy. That's the trade-off you have to have for having a bigger lumbering guy as your key forward.
So Reid on the wing, Witts is there. Lester got up, got hands on it, off the deck though. Rao with power, got up. Ainsworth heads toward King, good hands again.
And that's been the improvement in Matty Rao's game. I mean, he was winning most of his ball with clearance 2 or 3 years ago, but this, in general play, look at this for a crumb. Through, gone, Dunkley's a metre off him. And he says, you know what, a metre against me is just too far.
He really drives his legs now. Drives them hard through that contest.
This year, he's amassed the biggest goal haul in Suns history. And now to become the Suns' all-time greatest goal kicker. It'll work its way back, but not enough. It's across the face, just to behind, and a let off for the Lions.
So 2022, 19 disposals a game, almost 70% won in a contest. Look at that there, just pushes to the front. Now he's up to 26 touches, 50-50, contested, uncontested.
Lions exit the win, but it's cut off by the exciting Mac Andrew, the number 1, and he's got the bright pink boots as well.
Two of the star youngsters against each other. Mac Andrew playing on Logan Morris.
Takes a bit off the kick. It's Anderson. Goes the switch to the outer side to Noble. Wonderful recruit. Takes a bit of grass, then sends it deep. King will come from behind again. He's bustled off the contest. Lester signed yet another 1-year contract, and he exits nicely.
He'll take it on this time. Fletcher around his body, under some heat. Charlie Cameron gets a chance at it. Just 2 possessions last week. Goal with his first kick and only had 1 for the rest of the game. Inside kick, aggressive kick, cut off, thumped away, but Rayner pounced on it. Heads inside 50 to the big. Oh, just didn't have the reach that he was after. Top the deck might still work. Archie found a gap where there wasn't one and nails it.
Well, that's as messy and as beautiful as the Lions want it to be. They bite off corridor, and because they play their way, if you can deny them, good luck to you. But if you can't, they'll get to and score. So numbers turn up in the middle here. This is an aggressive, risky kick. But because they know they're prepared to bite it off, and Charlie's eyes are only looking inboard, volume turn up. 4 or 5 players get there. Look at Charlie. He's only looking inboard. Easy kick out wide to Marshall. He says, no, we're going through the middle. Now look at them turn up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Rayner does the rest. Perfect play. Put him under pressure straight away. Chaotic ball in the forward line. Suits the forwards.
Yeah, both goals have come from defensive 52 for the Lions. You spoke about a pre-game that they're going to have to be aggressive, King. Good build-up, good method to it. Good by Charlie Cameron. Important matchup. Will Powell on him. Buddy Hill in the times.
Couple of goals apiece. The Lions happy to go through the middle. Miller steams through, gives up ground. Chain of hand pass. Back to Powell. Misses it. McCluggage will come the other way. Transitions very quickly. Ashcroft sends it deep again. Collins is in good position. He started this game nicely.
Yeah, he's got the advantage of experience on Ty Gallop. This game 4 for Gallop. Hewlin. What's he want to do? He's got the runner outside. Jeffrey. There's a little bounce. Only didn't come at him initially. Now he floats it to Long. Good early engagement by Long. Pops it, top of the square, sits it on King's head. He still might steal it. He does. He can't goal it. Second effort, superb. Put his head down into the traffic. Ainsworth. Post.
Both of the goals for the Lions have come from exiting defensive 50. They'll be on high alert right now, the Gold Coast Suns, to get some defensive work done.
Not a spare seat. It's pulsating at the Gabba. Pockets of Suns fans. They've driven up from the coast, full of hope. Again, they go through the corridor. Rayner doesn't let them down.
2 important touches right in the last few minutes.
Lex to go by hand. Ashcroft to Big O. Forward hand pass. Ashcroft again from 35. Not quite, but again, they're going through the middle. And there you briefly saw Lohman with the new hairdo, if you could call it that.
Yeah, shaven down.
Home job.
Yep.
It has to be. There's no hairdresser in Queensland that would claim that, I don't think, Brownie.
Well, the other side's got a couple of stripes up through there, and I think that was just a mistake.
I think they were just a couple of leftovers.
A couple of dodgy blades.
Lohman, the shaven showman. Long kick towards the wing. Big pack around it. Slapped away. Anderson. Miller. Jeffrey. Nice movement. Now King's out the back. He sees him. He pops it to him, and he's got it. He's really grown this season. He's become a tough, strong key forward, and he's accurate.
I think you've got to make the change, Brownie. I know it's early, but Harris Andrews may need to just make the move across now. He's looking incredibly dangerous.
I agree, Kingy. That's not the right matchup for Brisbane. They've got to get Harris Andrews back there quickly.
He kicked the career high 7-1 from 8 possessions a couple of weeks ago against the Bombers. Yeah, it was the Bombers, but he was imposing then. And this for the lead back. And he does become the greatest goal scorer in Suns history.
Yeah, well done. He's off to a great start. Love that as a key forward. I do think though it's been made difficult for Darcy Gardner. I don't even Harris Andrews would have been able to make up that sort of coverage. So the ball's just coming through the centre ground far too easily at the moment. So the Lions are right up there high. Now look at that space to run through the centre square. Now, I would argue the best defender of all time would find it hard to beat that.
But I'd like to start with the best defender of Brisbane. I understand your point, but he takes a different positioning. He's prepared to play back shoulder.
Ben King's kicked bags of goals on Harris Andrews.
Yeah.
So
he's taken 3 marks inside 50 in 15 minutes of footy.
I wouldn't mind a bit of feedback to the guys up the field if I was Darcy Gardner.
Forwards always stick up for forwards, don't they?
Well, I'm sticking up for a defender.
So goal 2-5-4 takes him clear of Lynch. The record holder for the Suns, Bailey. Dunkley, hand passes in hope, if anything. Rao just steams through the tackle. Going to send it the other way if Davies gets the bounce he's after, knocks it on. Only as far as the impressive Wilmot gets a hand pass away. Now Marshall's got a little bit of room to run. Just eases it round the corner. Here is Loman, the number 1. No blonde locks tonight. Goes in short to Morris. McAndrew tracks him back. Finds a little step. Gets into trouble, then out of trouble. Powell needs to be careful here. Cameron arrives. Here's danger. Hand pass off to Ashcroft. Goes to the voice of Morris. Snapping, centering ball works out. Gee, that was some clever football for the Lions, and Berry will line it.
His footy, he tries to play the ball. Too critical.
It's unbelievable. Levi's had a handball over. He obviously heard something.
And Charlie, just to put a big frame in there, he's used his hips quite well to prize that ball free. That's a clever kick, a central ball, a speculator really.
Logan, please move out.
Cameron's involved. Brisbane are a different team when Charlie Cameron's involved.
8 goals for the season for Jared Berry. To answer King's second. Nice start to this one. Square again.
It's a good start, King. Entertaining game of football. Dane balls moving from one end of the ground to the other. Some good skills. It's a perfect night for footy. Jared Berry off the wing, playing that dislocated shoulder from 2 weeks ago against Fremantle. Tough guy. He's had a great season. Just as it builds up now, they get along, and just how clever the Ashcroft boys are. On this occasion, it's Levi. Just missed the kick there by Loman, but just out of nothing, he's just able to create something there, and then they have to turn up.
Just here, just watch Charlie just put his body in the way, bang, take him out of the contest, and then you're away.
It's good enough to give away a free kick to him.
Chris Fagan's shown faith in Charlie, even when he's been out of form.
Morris in the game early too, Dwayne. He's had an ordinary 2 or 3 weeks.
Fort and Witts. Dunkley still side by side with Rowell, the clearance specialist. Witts runs into Fort. Knocked down into that congestion. Davies, who was the secret sauce last week, he was the number 1 clearance player for the Suns last week, had more than Rowell or Anderson. So watching the front door on the back door, and he was sneaking out the fire exit with it. Witts gets it, they get him, tried to flick it down.
Just enjoy what Witts has been able to do with the tap work here. He's actually hitting the dominant position of his smalls at ground level on the move.
Swallow and reveal your subs if you're just joining us on Fox. Bailey, finals performer. They've turned it over by hand. Farah gets his opportunity. Lions need to be good clearing the defensive area. Again, it's Davies. Tick doesn't really go anywhere. Reed caught in a good tackle by Will Ashcroft.
You've got the move made, King. Harris Andrews back to Ben King.
Jared,
there it is. It's going to be a critical one. Ben King off to a flyer with 2 goals.
Shot the palm down. A squeeze kick. Didn't go far. Jeffrey caught. Just got to kick away into that congestion. Fought with the reach. And he blasted out of there. High bomb. The big O's down there. Oscar got a hand on it. McAndrew with the poise. Noble put him under the hammer. He's going to have to go and mop that mess up. Umpire says, I'll have it.
5 tackles to Brisbane so far, so they brought the pressure.
This way. Darcy, Jared.
Fort and Witts. Will Ashcroft applying a tackle again.
Darcy and Jared.
That's doing the world good so far.
It's not in the short term, I don't think.
The palm down. There's Davies again trying to get it in congestion for the clearance, and they did get the clearance because of his effort. Toe poke off the deck, didn't quite work. Bailey went and got it. Marshall shoots it back. Wilmot, would he go on one of those runs? He doesn't. He poke passes to Archie.
Lead comes ahead of the footy. Starcevic ignores that again. They look immediately to the corridor. Happy to hand it off to Harris.
Yeah, they like to do this, Howie. Just probe, just drift lateral across the centre half back area until you find one lazy midfielder that just drops off, and then they will attack. They'll kick aggressively through the corridor.
Worked it well to Fletcher.
Had a great year. Underrated year in many respects. Went towards Dunkley, couldn't complete the deal. Hard tackling, tough game at the moment.
The Lions follow-up at ground ball's been great. So winning ground ball and they're leading the tackle count. So their energy to get out of congestion and get to the next contest has been very good.
So McInerney into the ruck, and Fort's gone to full forward now for the Lions. So they're not changing off the bench. Ashcroft around his body, inside 50 in the reach. This time, good grab taken by Gallup, who's never kicked an AFL goal. So a big moment for him. Early in his career, Ty Gallup, game 4.
Alex.
Of the Lions Academy prospect has come through the ranks. Got a few out with injury, the Lions obviously, and a spot's opened up for him. Can he kick his first in AFL footy? He uses the body language to bend it back, but couldn't get it to bend enough.
Just watching the Dunkley and Rowell match up. Rowell just the one clearance at this stage. Dunkley being so focused on Rowell, you would see McCluggage now has had 3 clearances, and Ashcroft just the one. There's going to be a heavy reliance on those two.
Saw Lockie Neal there telling Fox pre-game that he haven't given up hope if the Lions can get as far as the grand final in a hyperbaric chamber today.
Used that one here in the dressing room, so like Barrack, but I think it got binned.
He said yours didn't have windows and he's had a deck chair in it, so it sounds like it's been upgraded.
Real claustrophobic. PTSD at the end of it.
Alex, thanks, mate. Alex, come in here. Rux, Darcy, Jared.
Dunkley stands Rowell in the stoppage. Anderson brought down, good tackle.
Go back, take your kick. Time back on, Cloud.
Dunkley turns. He gives us some air. It's high. Big fists went out. Or 3 or 4 behind. They're using the cryogenics these days as well to try and recover quickly. Good enough for Hippocrates seizing the 460 BC to get into the cold water. Good for the players here too.
See an ice bath man, wasn't he?
Yep, he was.
The run of Butterick immediately hammered by Wilmot. Butterick gets straight back to his feet, takes on another tackle in Zorko. Flanders needs to be clever. Whips it out by hand. Rowell's really good to his mate Anderson. Little's step towards the middle of the ground. Piercing ball forward. Here he comes again on a lead. Reed did everything but take the mark. He'd be disappointed he didn't hold it.
You've got to take that. The ball movement there was beautiful. Anderson laced out. Reed on the lead.
Darcy.
And you just need to cause them another problem forward of the ball. If Ben King's doing what he's doing, if one other tall can get going, away you go.
Big wits to Anderson. Hits the square. Knocked away. Cavalry arrives. Wilmot just scrambles it. Might be coming back with interest. Hits the deck. Rowell was there. Free kick. Advantage paid. Lions are out. Big O turns and goes. He's in good form. He's played a couple of twos games. Heads toward Levi Ashcroft. Gave it to the shaven lineman. Little shake and bake. Didn't quite work for him. Goes all the way back, but Noble might cut it off. Fletcher got away from him. Just got a handle in time. McInerney again. Berry gets it again. Floats it long inside 50. McAndrew down there. Fist on it. Still a ball to be won. Huge grab on lineman. Squeezed the handball out. Sun's getting players back, left, right and centre. Matty Rowell caught in the tackle. Umpire says, well, there's a slam kick at goal by Chi.
He handballed it. He came in late.
It's going to be a Suns free back pocket, so they dodge a bullet there. Matty Rowell to get it.
Back on.
Gee, that was good work from Matty Rowell. That was a big ball.
5 disposals for Rowell. Noble and Anderson 7 apiece, and McCluggage 8. Back to his ball-winning ways for the Lions. Reed's got a bit of space out the back. Doesn't try any finesse, just dumps it down towards Long, gets out the back with Starcevic. Dangerous, he might claim it, it won't matter. Plays on, it's all about the bounce! Missed opportunity.
Saw a couple of players last night straighten up and not go for that corner dribble kick. Get the opportunity to straighten up. It's still an old school solution. Wide ball, rolling ball. Marshall collects it and goes. Top ropes the boundary. Nicely delivered to Archie. He's had a good start to the game. Inside kick delightful. Berry's had a good start. Goes for the pocket. Doesn't go for home. Scooped up by Morris. Didn't count. Hit the deck. They get numbers back. Loman about to pounce on Weller. Boundary line his friend if he wants it. He got it there. Ball in.
I like Loman's pressure. He certainly turned up. Missed opportunity there by the Lions.
Berry.
Yeah, Berry's the kick. He started well, Berry, though.
A couple of times he just missed Morris Brownie on the lead.
Yeah, he's been in good spots.
McInerney and Witts. Deep in attack for the Lions. Gave up the first 2.
So 14-11 inside 50 count in favour of the Lions. You get opportunities playing on McAndrew. He'll give you a bit of a leg rope. That's Logan Morris's opportunity.
Rowell again. Just keeps finding the Sheridan there. Umpire says, I'll have it. The kind of guy that in another era, the guy that plucks the Sheridan out of there, would have been pulling swords out of rocks. Own and control. Been a brilliant player. Ball slammed towards goal by Fletcher. High bomb, no mark taken. Morris had a chance. And they jump on him, and the umpire says, I'll have it again.
It's an almost quarter, Logan Morris.
Here we go. Oscar, Jared, on mid one. Yep.
So they lock it inside their 50 the lines. They continue to press. McInerney. Rayner streams through. He's so powerful and hard to tackle. Rayner just across the face. Looks dangerous.
Oh, that was clever, wasn't it? Didn't get the ultimate result, but his body work was brilliant. You cannot tackle this guy.
He looks better around the ball, doesn't he? That's where he's the most dangerous, I think. Yes, we know he's had to play full forward at times to cover, and he's looked the most dangerous option, but around the ball, he's a good option.
Rioli has a bounce. Uses his full distance, gets out wide. Harris Andrews has pulled that in. Turns. Again, sits it up for the leapers. Who's going to go? Lyman got up there front of the pack. Rayner was also high. Couldn't pluck it. Ball sailed over a few of them. Archie tried to get a handball out. Stolen back by Collins. Hammers it. Midfield. Big pack. Fort got there. Zorko, a little slip. Might still be a chance. Goes down low. Locks it in. Ball up.
Actually dominated possession, Brisbane. They've had about 30 more touches, so the Suns just need to hang in here till quarter time.
Minute and a half on the clock. They kicked the first two for a couple from Brisbane and then shared one apiece. Wilmot kicks under pressure, just spirals it high into the sky, which gets a fist to it. Well gathered. Fiorini taken down behind play. Yeah, downfield. So Newland will get the Suns will get it as a result of what happened with Newland. They poke it into the pocket, and he'll be an opportunity. A difficult angle though, but now a chance for Ainsworth.
Well, they're hanging in here, the Suns. Hanging in, trailing 10-4 a clearance. That's their go. They're a clearance-driven team, a contest-driven team. Silly from Charlie in the end.
Pick four back in 2016, Ben Ainsworth. 22 goals for the season. Game 158. To retake the lead from tight in the pocket. Just a touch narrow.
So how do they spend this last 31 seconds, Lions?
They won't die wondering, but they have to. They'll have a crack at the kicks there. So they have to be on high alert here, the Gold Coast Suns, especially anywhere near Dane Zorko.
So Leicester, where is Zorko? He takes off, gets some room to move. Heads out wide to Dunkley. He normally spends it wisely, but here's to Berry. He's got the longer option. Oscar McInerney, Collins. Collins flicked that toward the boundary. That was clever. He spoiled it to kill it. There's still a few seconds to play with here.
Plus 10 contested. Chris Fagan's team.
Yeah, it's been the ground ball as well. The Lions have been able to get out there first.
It's McCluggage mainly.
Yeah, he's been good, McCluggage.
The ruckman dish it to space. Rioli, so much finals experience and 3 premierships. He might be saved by the clock. I don't think anyone will be attempting a barrel.
Where did it go out? That's the key. It went out on 50.
That's a generous call.
There's a discussion who will get the free. It's Ashcroft. Drop punt or barrel territory?
You'd have to think of barrel, wouldn't you? This is
Levi Ashcroft to really lift up the Gabba crowd. And take something special. He's shaping for the drop punt. Has to hit it absolutely perfectly. Gets good range, but not enough. So no score to finish the quarter. The Gold Coast Suns kicked the first couple, but I think they're just going to review.
Review underway. Review complete. Look in this angle. We see the ball does not cross the back of the behind line and does not hit the post. Decision on the scoreboard.
King and Anderson with the first 2 for the Suns, then Morris Archie, King with his second to lead the Gold Coast Suns in their history for most goals. Berry to finish one off at the end of the term. Brisbane In a perfect start in perfect conditions in Q Clash 30, with Collingwood awaiting in a preliminary final. The home side lead it by a point. Right here on your home of footy, that's Fox.
Wide. All right, folks, there we go. Welcome in Saturday night football. Second semi we've got here at the Gabba. Brisbane Lions taking on the Gold Coast Suns 3-5-23. 3-4-22. It's the Lions by one solitary behind at quarter time. I tell you what, we are in for a ring-a-ding-ding game. She's a tough old game. I tell you what, plenty of space being created by both sides. So it's a fair bit of a good running game. It's not too congested or contested. It's a pretty good game so far. Tell you what, I think the Brisbane Lions will be pretty happy with the way they're standing at the moment, even leading just by that solitary behind. Of course, they're pretty well injury plagued, the Brisbane Lions. Gold Coast Suns coming in unchanged from last week's win against Freo. Just want to say g'day to Ryan in the live chat. Raksha, how you doing? Magpie Madness, go Pies. Good stuff. Timothy Gaiman, how you doing? Hey, just before we get into it, this was the ins and outs for your teams tonight. As you can see, the Gold Coast Suns unchanged. Of course, the magic sub is David Swallow again. Can he come and do what he did last week? Kick that magical behind and gave the Gold Coast Suns the win. Oscar McInerney is coming in for the Brisbane Lions with Bruce Revel going out, Sam Day and Lockie Neal. Of course, Lockie Neal, wow, what a big out there for the Brisbane Lions. Of course, he is out for the season with injury. Bruce Revel is the sub. And of course, that is your team. Let's just go and have a look at the goal scorers. I think we've got, that's right, 6 goals so far kicked in the opening term, which is good to see. Let's hope for a high-scoring game. Of course, Ben King, the only multiple goal scorer out on the ground is for the Gold Coast. He's got 2. Noah Anderson has 1. Just the 2 goal scorers there for the Suns. For the Brisbane Lions, though, singles to Logan Morris, Jared Berry, Callum Archie, bless you. They are your single goal scorers for the Brisbane Lions. Let's have a look at the stats getters. Hugh McCluggage tops the table for Brisbane Lions. 2 kicks, 6 handballs, 3 clearances. And of course, for the Suns, Noah Anderson, 8 disposals, 6 kicks, 2 handballs, 3 marks, a clearance and a goal. So it was a good start from him. Johnny Noble always does well. He's on 7 there for the Suns. Fletcher, Dunkley, Berry and Andrews all on 7 for the Lions as well. Looking down, Zorko's getting into the game a little bit. He's on 6. Took Miller, Danger Man, looks good down forward down there for the Suns. Let's see if he can get his opportunity. Just the 6 touches, 1 kick, 5 handballs. Like to see him get ball on boot a little bit more. Dan Rioli, I tell you what, he's an important player for the Suns. They want to get him up and rolling. He's had the 5 kicks for this evening so far. Cam Rayner, just the 4 touches, 1 behind. Took a snap out of the ball up. Just missed the goal, so just a behind for him. As I said, Ben King, look at that for the Gold Coast. 3 disposals, 3 kicks, 2 goals, 1, going at 100%. Scoring efficiency for his kicks there, so that is good news there. For the Gold Coast Suns, there we go. Ty Gallup nearly got his first goal, just went right of the post. 2 disposals, 1 kick, 1 behind. Charlie Cameron's another one for the Brisbane Lions who needs to get into this game. This is the game that he needs to get into. 2 disposals. Just had the 1-on-1 so far and the 1 mark. But this game is certainly made for Charlie Cameron to have a big one out there at the moment. Just have a quick glance at the team stats. Let me just reload that up for the good folks out there. There's a Brisbane Lions so far. They're plus 28 in the disposal count. Just looking at the inside 50s though, folks. Brisbane, more opportunities. 17 inside 50s for 9 scoring shots. The Gold Coast Suns, 12 inside 50s, I should say, for 7 scoring shots. So scoring a little bit more efficient than the Lions, but both teams getting reasonably equal there, just plus 5 there to the Lions. Just looking at the free kick count, if you're wondering how that was faring up until quarter time, we've got the Brisbane Lions 6, Gold Coast 3. Just have a look at the tackle count. I just want to duck down there. Contested possessions, there we go. Brisbane, they're plus 9 in their contested balls so far. we're about to get underway. As we were saying, tackle count pressure really is high value in the finals. And of course, Brisbane, they've certainly come out to play. 21 tackles, Gold Coast Suns 7s. They really need to lift that 5-1 inside 50 tackles for the Lions. Fantastic so far for the Lions. That's what they've got to keep doing if they want to get up over the Gold Coast Suns team, which is injury-free. All right, let's head back down to the action. It's the Lions by 1 point.
8, Noble 7, McCluggage 8 and Andrews 7. The Brisbane Lions are +5 and inside 50s. Just a point in it in Q Clash 30. Fort and Witts face each other. The two big men combine in the middle. Spills out the side, off the ground. Anderson throws a boot at it. Gets some good ground to the outer side. Humphreys haven't seen him yet, but he's a burst man. The man from Moe can do it in a hurry. Opportunity on the outer side for the Suns. They wind it inside 50. Long attacks it hard. Starcevic doesn't really time the ball going forward. Rayner puts his body over the footy.
Powell goes and gets it. Handball inside, suggested in there. And here goes Charlie. Good dance step, got away from a couple. Hands it wide. Berry's had a good start to the game as well. Just hits the pause button.
No one ahead of him.
Pushed the clutch in and waited for the traffic to go by. Well, for Charlie.
Yeah, they had Sam Collins and Mac Andrew ahead of the ball, so...
Went for Zorko, missed him completely. Just relaxed. Ainsworth, he could have gone to Miller, Zorko's man. Make him pay double. He does go to Miller. Good grab.
He's going to switch back on now, Charlie. Disappointed. Put that contest behind him.
He threw his head back, and meanwhile, Took Miller went roaring past him and received the footy. The number 11. High ball, inside 50. King comes from the side. Gee whiz, he nearly brought it to ground. He looks an aerial threat. Fletcher, Zorko. Now McCluggage runs into Davies, gets away from him. Kicks it straight into the shin of Anderson. Fletcher again at ground level. They're not giving up on it though, the Suns. Davies. There's a couple of turnovers in the change. Rayner's done, but he got one high just before the second tackle met him.
Dodged the bullet there. Zorko plays on quickly to advantage. Charlie's playing some sort of game. He's got Morris out the front. He might hit him lace out.
I love the game of Charlie Cameron so far. Defensively, he's been brilliant. He's been everywhere. Pushing right up the ground. He's working his way to the half-back flank and then charging forward. Yeah, he's made a couple of blues. But he's working hard for the cause at the moment. A couple of his teammates getting to him and praising him.
Logan Morris looking dangerous as well. Had a couple of opportunities, a couple of half chances. Takes his full allotment of time here. Spins the ball in his hand, assesses it. Spins it around his body to perfection. From Happy Meal to Premiership medallion last year. What a star he's become.
Absolutely. One of the great signs for the Lions is this man back into form. So he's had a quiet few weeks. Been a struggle for the Lions ahead of the ball from all their forwards winning contest. Makes the most of his opportunity that time. And Charlie Cameron, you're right, King, made a horror mistake here on the wing right in front of our commentary box. But then, yes, he did drop his head, but quickly got around. I think a couple of teammates yelled out to him, "Come on, Charlie, next contest." He was able to do that and sets up this forward thrust.
And Mac Andrews got a challenge now. A real challenge. He's just giving a metre a little bit easily to Morris on the lead. Lynchie's making him pay.
This is the part of the ground that's been the biggest change since the last time these two teams met. The Gold Coast Suns scored 13 goals, 5 from stoppages last start. They haven't scored from stoppages. They're getting belted in the middle, and it's a transition game which is hurting them as well.
Anderson trying to steal out of the middle to his mate Rao. Ball spills free. High kick going the way of Matty Rao.
He's had 7 tackles, Josh Dunkley already.
Rioli wants someone to come towards him, takes a bounce. They still don't come towards him. He pokes it inside 50. King extends high.
It's a pretty high number early in the second quarter for an individual.
It is.
I think Josh Dunkley took it personally, didn't he? That they got belted in round 20 by the Gold Coast Suns.
Done a good job, Harris Andrews, in shutting down King. It's going on to him. Good spot for a ball in here for the Suns. Anderson, was he held? Rao was held as well.
Yeah.
You're not facing the footy. Have you heard that at home? Umpire explanation.
Well, Damien Hartley put this front and centre for the umpires about 6 weeks ago, and it's paid dividends. His arm locking. You see a bit of that. Yeah, it's probably there.
And he's been kicking goals this season as well. This will be his 10th if he slots it. Bill or two from the crowd. This will be a little bit of a nerve settler for the Suns. Rowell toward goal. Magnificent. Big boy pants on kick that was.
There's Matty Rowell's mum there. All excited in the crowd.
Louise.
Good finish. Yeah, Louise. She was a star last week in the post-game interviews. But look, fair enough. You pay those ones, and yes, the umpires need to watch that match up closely. But if you're paying those ones, you're going to be paying a lot tonight. That's two players being very physical. Normally, Dunkley gets his eyes back on the ball pretty well here. Just have a look at this.
It's just there. It's just the twist at the end,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, look, the umpire is watching it closely, so I guess that's a warning to Dunkley. And he made him pay. That's what good players do. Matt Rowell makes him pay with a set shot.
So 10th goal of the season for Rowell. Comes at an important time. Back to a one-point game. Witts gets the best of the bounce. Rayner pumps it forward.
He's looked likely around the ball, Rayner. I'd love to see Humphrey in there a little bit more as well, because they need to get Bailey Humphrey into the game. He's the X factor for the Suns.
Rayner just trying to work his way through the congestion.
There is a similarity to the jumpers a little. A massive contrast between the two, but it's a fantastic pick, the Gold Coast Sun strip. Unique colour for them. Rowell just bustles his way past a couple, heads out wide to Humphrey, really had to motor to get it. Wilmot got a double fist on it, scoops it, flicks it, half a handball, counted. Gardner through the traffic, threads it through to Wilmot, caught, pow, ripped him down. All up.
The pressure's lifted in this term.
It's pretty low in the first quarter, wasn't it, from the Suns?
Come this way, guys, this way.
A 1 point quarter time lead remains for Brisbane. McCluggage, a lot of the footy. It's his 11th disposal. McAndrew floats back. He can do it at both ends. Mac.
Yeah, control. Yeah, good technique there. He didn't allow Morris to spin around behind him.
Yeah, well, he end up as a forward. He is, like QB Sauce, is good anywhere. McAndrew, wide border, Weller, got up. Front on contact. What about Rioli? Probably should have gone.
There's no real flow in their game at the moment.
And again, just launches it. King comes at it. Long stays down. Harris Andrews wins that battle. Body contact and the big fist. Rayner shook him off brilliantly. Hands it to Berry. Fed inside. McCluggage wants to get it and go. Kept it in front. Caught by Rowell, the tackle specialist. Great tackle too. Dispossessed. Now Weller caught in the jam. He flicks it up. Still a chance for Berry. 60, 55. Wobbles it. Pocket. And it'll be a ball in.
Bailey on his own. Tried to have it. It's like he tried to have a crack at this. Look at Rayner, so he's so powerful, isn't he? Making an impact early. Been important. Didn't see enough of this last week. Certainly not around the ball. He had to play full forward, but
Goal apiece in the second term. Witts keeps it in close. McCluggage powers in after the football. Morris has had opportunities, just scoots away from him.
Yeah, that was close. McCluggage off Anderson there. He's trying to return serve and say, okay, you want to defend for a minute? Let's see how we go here. Bailey charging through at speed, putting it to Rioli. It's aggressive.
Yeah, they're all there. Bailey, Will Ashcroft, McCluggage, Anderson, Rowell, Rioli, Weller, all circling. Witts, Gallup does the ruck. Ashcroft around his body. Will Ashcroft, free Will, got it there.
strong part of their game.
Forward 50 stoppage of goals are priceless in finals.
There's the old man.
Yeah.
Choppers.
Couldn't get a seat by the look of it. Sold out stadium tonight. No luck. He's not showing a lot of emotion there. It was a pretty special goal.
Well, no Ashcroft medal tonight. In the kids' clash
for the fight, you say.
Just have a look here at what the young man was able to do. Just a metre again. It's off Anderson. Got away with the first one. Didn't get away with the second. There he is there. So Anderson's got to be more physical than this. Just allows him a clean run. It's a special finish. but he gave up front position too easily.
He's been clever in the forward 50. Saw Levi Ashcroft's handball to set up a goal in the first quarter. This time it was Will.
McInerney gets his opportunity in the middle. Ford has a spell. Ashcroft again. Dunkley pumps it to Berry. Clears the area back to Dunkley. Finds a little bit of space on a tight night. Lohman comes from behind. Brought to the ground by Powell. Lohman still in the contest. Clever to Rayner. Doesn't need much space, but hooks it and misses the lot.
McClugg's ability to turn up to the next contest forward of the ball. So dangerous in the front half. Up to 12 disposals now. 4 clearances. Just need to keep an eye on the Gold Coast Suns mids.
So wide. That's what they want to do with it here, the Suns. They haven't been that aggressive early. Hewlin. Jeffrey runs past for the 1-2. Hag Gallop stepped in, got him out of his shoes. Ainsworth. And now he's a little cautious. Flicks it wide. Good run, Jeffrey. Third effort in this string of play.
Patient build up on the outer side by the Suns. Still -7 on inside 50s. He hangs it up, sets a task for Mac Andrew, brings it to ground. Rayner just powers through. He's so hard to tackle. Good luck stopping him. Sends it deep forward. Bailey will come from behind, uses the body. Did he use too much? It bounces all the way. Wasn't a hand on it. Golapo looks around and signals a major.
That's why he's the most important player of the Brisbane Lions. If they're going to go all the way again, he's so dynamic. His impact around the ball tonight has been outstanding. This time kicks away. He's just such a brute. Pound for pound.
Like tackling a bollard, Brad.
It moves. Bollards don't move though.
He seeks contact. This is what I like. He goes straight at Mac Andrew. Come on, let's go. He's kicked that 85 metres.
His lower leg strap. What's his squat? He'd be squatting 300 when he King.
That's gone a mile. He has been unbelievable tonight. And you're right, Brownie. He's looked so much better further up the ground. Involved as a true midfielder, not stuck deep forward.
Yeah, he was a bit flat on Joe Danaher's retirement. They sucked him back to the goal square a bit more than he would have liked.
Big couple of clearances here for the Suns to get going.
Absolutely. This is the biggest margin of the game for either team. 2 in a row now for the Lions. The home team up and about. The crowd's up and about. McInerney in the ruck gets his own clearance. Fans it wide. High ball. Powell goes back with the flight. Put it to grass. Jeffrey mopped up his mess. Hewlin. Powell around his body. And then an outlet. They don't get one. They've got players left, right and centre at the moment. Dominating at the moment. And Leicester does the job here.
The ever reliable. Good passage this. Kicked to the last 2 and 4 of the last 5 goals in this game. Starcevic looking to make it 5 or 6. Squeezed it forward. Just missed Bailey, who had a metre. Rao, Anderson, Humphrey, looping hand pass. Butterick will come back now. Dishes it towards the outer side. They've got runners everywhere. Rioli, here's the important kick. There's a touch ball. King, clean bowl right through him at the Gabba. Harris Andrews, and they get out of jail there, Brisbane.
Took the bails.
Yep.
Good spot for a ball up for the Suns, though. Anderson waiting under it. Humphrey there waiting as well. Wits. The contest with McInerney and Rao, the clearance specialist. 4-3-60, gave it up. Is that in the back or holding the ball? Fiorini had a chance. The umpire says 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
No wonder Josh Dunkley's had so many tackles. He's trying to chase Matty Rowell around. It's been unbelievable, Matt Rowell.
Still has that job. Witts grabs it out, pokes it up high. Farah needs to compete in the air. Harris Andrews with a big fist on it. Butterick leaves it behind. Little chip and run from McCluggage, and they're away again through Lohman.
Yeah, just the required 15, but they've got a spark here. The Lions. Archie, McCluggage feeds it back in, taking it on. Rioli might go and get it. Is what they brought him in for, to spark something. Little float kick. King's under it, got his hands on it, couldn't mark it. Wilmot crunched, not ball. Umpire said keep rolling, boys. Ball flung out, congestion, flying shot at goal might work. It has, it's through, and it's Flanders.
Brilliant. They've looked to the forward half pressure of the Gold Coast Suns. Wasn't there in the first quarter, but there's no doubt that would have been the message from Damien Hardwick. Got to lift that part. Let's get some front half turnovers, which they did. They just kept at it. That was a full team effort. And Flanders good enough to finish it off. But just see this, kept turning up. So not drawing 2-1, just to get their assignments right. They keep the pressure on. Eventually the Brisbane Lions cough it up. And then this secondary one, they get inside 50. The numbers turn up again. Put the pressure on Wilmot. Great tackle there. And they keep the ball alive and make the most of the finish. Really good effort. Really good effort. Damien Hardwick be thrilled with that.
They're happy to send it in high to King, aren't they, the Suns?
Yeah, no, it's been a good aerial contest. Brisbane are only taking 3 intercept marks for the game.
So it was getting a touch edgy to the game high 13. They bring it back to 7. Ashcroft. Will doesn't really get much purchase. He'll go again in the camouflage boots. He's got to beat Anderson though, and does. Rips it away from him. Good tackle, good decision.
Oh, it's got to be.
It has to be advantage.
Oh, wow.
Bailey was steaming inside 50. He's not happy, Zach.
Well, he had a good look there, the umpire. He saw the advantage and still decided to bring it back.
Watching the umpires right in front of us. He had a clear that was clear for everyone to see.
Couldn't read the play. I guess that's why he's umpiring, not playing, Brownie.
Big thigh bandage on Will Ashcroft as well. And he launches it for the Leopards to go at it. Fists come. Collins tries to barrel his way through.
Strong clip.
Now, let's just see what happens here at this forward 50 stoppage, because they've been on the move here and on the fly, Brisbane, challenging the Suns mids to do the job defensively.
Throw a blanket over them.
Ewan's trying to keep Loman out of the contest. Watch out for Rayner. Miller. Anderson has nowhere to go, so he just pumps it forward right through the corridor. Wilmot grabs it the other way with strength, sends it deep forward. On the stretch, works out for Archie.
Yeah, that even number. So Wilmot was the critical one. He had to come forward. If he came forward, kept his eye on the ball and won that, Brisbane then had an outnumber forward of the ball. He did that. Well done.
10 goals in the Premiership Campaign Cup finals last September for Cal Archie. For a 99th career goal, he's already kicked in the first term. This for 100. For the number 4 from a tight angle. Never really gave it an opportunity.
Collins took the ball there as well. I think he thought he had that covered. Collins. Archie ran around him and took the mark. McAndrew. Feels like the Lions have dominated the last 30 minutes. The Suns have stayed in touch. Witts out there, Gardner out there, got a fist on it, knocked it down into that congestion as well. Fiorini, Miller, crunched. Umpire said it was all fair in love and war. We'll get another ball in.
Just watching Witts, he's had 23 hit-outs. Forwards had 6. McInerney's had 4. I just wonder if they can be a little more aggressive again. Get back to that. Hitting to players on the fly. Rowell, Anderson on the move.
McInerney's deep with Collins for company. 4 tries to send it in that direction. Zorko does just that. Here's the two of them competing, and again, he's reading it so much better off the boot, Collins.
Heads out wide, Flanders. He wants to go. He's got Miller in space. He can get and go. And it opens up for the Suns now. Powell, Ainsworth, good step, got away from Wilmot, gave it back to Powell under some heat, ducked out of one, caught by another. Wilmot picked his pocket, McCluggage out wide. I want to hurt him on the rebound. Zorko, Archie, he's got the short lineman. He goes shorter and wider, and he headed inside to Mark. It did pay to Gabba.
Darcy Wilmot's been fantastic. So
hands it off to Zorko. He floats to the pocket, and there is Loman. Knocked away, no arm chop. He was there for an eternity, Loman. He's almost kicked that out on the full.
Great hit by Ewan, not to give away the free kick.
Marked this between his legs.
A little bit of grass there, maybe.
Reed into the ruck for the first time. Ashcroft, who's already kicked one beauty. McAndrew will come from the side to a dangerous area. Rayner, they ride him into the turf.
Yeah, good rolling tackle there. Make sure he didn't get into his back late. This is a dangerous area for a ball up.
Will Ashcroft's the dangerous one at the moment off these forward 50 taps.
And he's lurking again here. All knocked down towards Powell. He put his head down and he was caught. No, Pryor. Get another ball up in that dangerous spot.
Ethan Reid, Oscar McInerney, Rayner pumping through the contest once again. McCluggage. A lot of players around the footy.
Yeah, it's a Lions game now. That's what they do. They build pressure. These forward 50 stoppages. We see this throughout the year.
Reid got to the front spot. Again, Bailey tried to get away and he's wrapped up legally. And they get more around the ball and congest it even more.
Ashcroft on the move again. Bailey. There is Wheel. Throws a boot on it. Gee, lucky they got a hand on that, the Suns, because that looked like it was headed goal as well.
Yeah, and they're trying to put on blocks. They're confusing the midfielders of the Suns. Anderson handing over. They're just on the move. It's team first. Trying to free up McCluggage or Ashcroft off Davies and Anderson.
And yet it's only 7 points. The Big O rips it out of the air. He wants to play in the grand final, the Big O. Only behind. What a fairy tale it would be if they did get back there and Oscar McInerney was part of a premiership.
No, he's turned it straight over, and what a man to kick it to. He's already kicked one beauty. There's Will Ashcroft. Frustration for the coach. And he get his dad to smile this time.
Been a big term. This will be disposal number 8. Always helps when the opposition are kicking to you as well, Brownie. But this will be his second goal for the term if he can convert this. Tough chance outside 40, but you wouldn't put it past the little maestro.
30 disposals against the Cats in the qualifier. He's kicked one, Ashcroft. It's coming. Ashcroft wants it to continue to come. He's got a couple. The young gun's firing. The Lions fans are on their feet, and again they skip away.
He might have a bit of feedback over the fence too from the Gold Coast Sun supporters. How good he's had an enormous quarter, been the best player on the ground this quarter, been able to set up those forward 50 stoppages. That's his natural habitat, King. That's where he likes to live.
Yeah, he's
expecting these, huh?
He's invested in the game, Brownie. Like, forward 50 stoppages, he's putting on blocks. He's just there. Now, that's a lucky one in the end, but he's at least tracking Noah Anderson, making him work a little bit harder, making the kick be a little bit more precise.
That's an area of his game he's got to work on too, defensively. Gets a reward.
That's a good call. He's had a huge second term now. Coach not happy.
Because they were just hanging in, weren't they, the Suns? So eventually they're going to get their turn. You don't want to give up unforced error goals like that.
You must not know about me. I'm a Norm Smith medalist. Better shut me down. Highest rated player on the ground right now. Rao lays a lock-in tackle and umpire rewards him. Pulls his dacks up. Looks at Dunkley. He's got one back on you. And now he takes off. Dunkley with the Superman smother attempt. Long kick. Reed's under it. Can't mark it. Zorko went with the boot. Could have done more. Smother was great. Noble knocks it out. Into that congestion. Flanders. Back to Noble. Pops it to the pocket. Not sure who to. In fact, to the boundary umpire on the full. And they're under some heat now, the Suns.
Now to a game-high 14-point margin. The way the Lions are just hanging in under the Gold Coast. Come back through Gardner.
They just started to drive the ball long inside 50. That's their only mode going in. Need to scan a bit more, find some uncontested marks. 50 to 70 from goal.
Harris Andrews off one step. Trouble again here for the Suns. They've got to get back defensively. Starcevic drives it deep towards McInerney. Collins had his number all afternoon. Cameron's done some fancy stuff and hurried out of defence, and it works out nicely.
Well, does he want to go here? Be aggressive. He does. What can Fiorini do? So the outside kick is good. King comes up to lend a hand on the wing.
Can't kick. Lester's back as the spare man.
And he hits the pause button. Kicks it to where he'd like to be. It's a wide ball, and Garner got up, put it to grass. Ainsworth's got some room to move. Feeds it inside, wrong guy. Rayner. And a couple of handballs from the Suns players to opposition players on the run. And here goes Will. Gives it to the big O, not your run and carry guy, but the big O moving like treacle. Heads long inside 50. Loman takes off. Open goal, sizes them up. Bang! The crew cut tie. Kicks a ripper.
That man Raider involved again. So Brisbane was set up well behind defence. We weren't that keen. So Leicester was there as the deepest. Gardner got back and made a really strong contest aerially. They get the ground, Cam Raider, and then he starts to sweep it down the other end where Lyman takes a nice mark.
This is where they've been most dangerous tonight. On turnover in this area of the ground. I mean, that's their fifth goal from the defensive half of the ground. Just composure. Find the free man, make the Suns defend for long periods, get goal side, away we go. Look, this is not the perfect play. It never designed for the ruckman to be kicking inside 50, but the numbers are there. The extra handball that turns up, that's a quality finish, but it's all in the build-up. It's classic Brisbane signature. Counter-punch from half-back at speed.
In the McInerney part, that wasn't part of the design?
No, he's never been there in that drill, even at training.
Will Ashcroft, 9 disposals and 2 goals for the term alone. Involved in that one.
Yeah, after Riley O'Brien's kick last night, I thought all ruckman would have been banned from kicking. But Oscar's restored the reputation of the great ruckman.
Dunkley hunts the footy. Zorko shins it back the other way. Levi Ashcroft. Witts burrows in at ground level. Players throwing themselves everywhere. Fort scoops it in. Marshall caught from Miller.
What do you make of the ground balls? So Brisbane double the amount of ground balls king this quarter.
Yeah, with the exception of Rowell, most of them are being out-hunted at ground level.
Kick forward the last 5 goals, the Lions, in that congestion as well. Tough ball to win. Anderson lays the tackle. Ball's not really there. It is now. Witch picks it up. Kick smothered. Knocked out. Trying to get it into space in Butterick's hands. He flings it out even further. Good attack from Rioli, but he left it behind. Still a chance for Flanders. Hewlin heads wide. Long hasn't had an impact yet. Doesn't have an impact now. Put it down. Zorko caught to Bailey just in time. Feeds it to Starcevic. Gets it out of the area. High ball. Powell's going to have to go. He did go, but Witts went as well. Hits the deck. McCluggage tackle. Ball up.
Will Ashcroft now, the first Brisbane Lion to record 10-plus contested possessions and 2 goals in any half of a final. And they've had some big final performers. So he's on fire. Flanders outside of the boot looking for Butterick. Zorko bobbles off his head. Starcevic, ground level, another ball. Pumping hand pass forward. Marshall had a bit of the footy. Back to Starcevic. They build again through McCluggage. Again, players loose ahead of the footy. McCluggage scoops through a little gap to Bailey. Rioli pushes him in to a teammate in Miller. And he'll be rewarded.
Great run there from Miller.
Almost to push in the back initially.
Yeah, good surge run.
Ugly kick, put round with a hammer. Lucky he's built like a rock. Rioli the other way. Fort, little tap. Dunkley scoops it up. Zorko, he can smell some blood, Dane. Heads inside 50. Haley couldn't do something with it, and Collins stops the rock.
He's just been able to apply a good amount of pressure to the Lions where the ball is. Great contest there by Dunkley against Rowell a couple of times. They're set up really well defensively at the moment, so that's why it's hard for the Suns to get much flow into their game. There's no free targets ahead of the ball.
That's the difference, Brownie. They're going through the corridor. Suns just can't get through there.
5 goals to 2 the way of Brisbane this term. They lead by a point at quarter time. They're out to a game-high 20-point margin.
Yeah, Miller there just taking off. It was a great gut-running defensive action when they absolutely had to have it.
Zorko standing next to Miller again. Like oil and water, those two. They don't mix, but they're mixing now. Wicks, well, he dropped it, and that's an indicator as to how they're going at the moment. Rioli, good lock tackle by Dunkley. Tackles don't get much better than that.
He's a machine, Josh Dunkley. I've never seen a player work as hard defensively as he does offensively.
McCluggage got away to Wilmot, and he's hammered, and Longlay's a good tackle, given an eternity. Squeeze kick inside 50, it'll hurt if the Lions score from this. Rowell got there in time, blocks it up. They should get out of trouble. Pop pass is nice to Butterick.
Can they build off the half-back line? nothing really ahead of the footy. They've been forced to go long time and time again. Flanders scoops it up. Again, nothing towards him. Lions have got a spare man in defence, which is why he doesn't pull the trigger. He, in the end, nearly hand passed to himself. Miller forced to kick long. Again, it's a 2-on-1. They're so well set up behind the ball. Can the Lions produce something at ground level? Anderson. Farah gives up ground. Does well to hit Noble.
First bit of composure in the forward half from the Suns. Find the easy target. It's an opportunity to just take the air out of the tyres a little bit. Get the game played in your forward half. If you can't convert, you at least get the opportunity to defend this. This is great scramble defence. Yeah, they're working hard.
Their tackles this quarter, King. Yeah. 23 tackles to 12, the Suns. So clearly they've lifted that. It's just been hard for them to move the ball offensively. Big kick.
Just 3 goals for the season. They need this, the Gold Coast Suns. Noble, it'll take his best. He's got the distance, but hooks it going for the length.
His reward for winning this, John Noble, would be a final against the team that dropped him a couple of years ago in the finals. He knocked them out of the finals.
So, Dwayne, they need to lock this ball in the front half. That's where the goal came from a few minutes ago.
So, a couple of minutes left. Wilmot assesses the options. He wants the corridor. Bailey looks up. Gardner. He's got Dunkley short if he's good enough, and he's good enough. Loops it to him. Now he's corralled. No one comes up on the mark. Flanders decides to float back and gives him some room to move to Archie.
Taking a bit of time off the clock to Fletcher.
And making them work too. Making the Suns work defensively to cover the whole ground.
Wilmot.
50.
50. It'll take him almost within range, Berry. Going to be tight on the mark here, the Suns. Just too far out to score. He's got Fletcher wrapping around. He's not interested in that.
He kicks a big ball, Fletcher.
Berry slides the kick right to the goal square. Lohman out to Bailey. It was a touch easy. Lions fans love it. Zach nails one. And this is danger now for the Gold Coast Suns. They trail by a game-high 25 points in the shadow of the major break.
Gee, it was a good kick from Berry. Flat. Didn't give the defenders a time to release and support in the air. It was a lunging, desperate ball more than a deliberate fist through the ball. And Lohman did a great job to take it from inside to out. Bailey's just been hanging around that area. Rayner and Bailey on the outside of the traffic. They make you pay every time. The class of the Lions coming to the fore.
Kick 5 of the last 6 goals of the game, the Lions. It's the Suns' 15th year in the competition. They won their first final in club history last week against Fremantle. They were able to come from behind in that. They're going to have to do exactly the same and come from behind in this. 25 points the margin with a half and a matter of seconds left. Love to score one here, but don't want to concede one in the dying seconds. Ball flicked down. Ashcroft got it off. Wide ball from Dunkley's boot, and this will work if Fletcher can mark it. He didn't. Scoops it back up. Seconds keep rolling. Had his pocket picked. Dunkley goes hard. Butterick just as hard the other way, tried to back out of a jam. Little trickle kick to Flanders. Crowd's into it at the moment here at the Gabba.
Well, they're beating at their own game, Lions. 19-13 clearances in favour of Brisbane.
Last 3 goals away, the Lions, 5 of the last 6. And going at half-time with a handy lead. Fletcher around the body. Lohman, spoil.
Time enough for another score here. He's got to get numbers back. Got the loose man at the back there. It's Collins all by himself. I wouldn't mind rolling another one back if you're Damien Hardwick.
Ashcroft Senior, he's done a lot for Queensland football. Surely was given a seat. I think he's just a nervous father watching back there. Anderson. McCluggage. Inside 50. Can the Lions take a mark late? Morris, he's been in everything. Loman confronted by Powell. Taps it inside. Butterick Davies. Big term. Big term for the Brisbane Lions. They kicked the last 3, 5 of the last 6. They lead it, David, by a 25-point game high margin.
And it's that man, Will Ashcroft. He's been everywhere. 15 disposals, 6 score involvements, 2 goals. He's been the one that separated this game. In the absence of Lockie Neal, he said, hey, let me take over. You take care of Matty Rowell, Josh Dunkley, and I'll look after the clearance situation. That's where they've belted them. 21-13 plus 8, plus 12 clearances. It's a healthy margin, 25 points. The Suns have got a shot left in them, there's no doubt about that. But they're going to have to go away from their normal game and play aggressive football.
Sarah Jones.
That was a powerful quarter by the reigning premiers, Jason Dunstall, Lee Matthews and Jonathan Brown. Was that a big flex?
It was big. They're starting to assert themselves, the Brisbane Lions. They've got the game on their terms. They're winning the territory battle. I cannot take my eyes off the Josh Dunkley-Matty Rowell battle. It has been a beauty. I mean, Rowell's been one of the best for the Suns. And Josh Dunkley's a tackling machine. And he's in and under. He's hard at it. He's played a great game as well. It's just brilliant to watch.
Well, he stopped Rowell getting into space.
Yes.
That's been the main thing. But then you've got Ashcroft and McCluggage and Dunkley's excellent pressure around there. So just the midfield, though, certainly tonight, Lions well on top.
Absolutely. Lockie Neal didn't play the last few weeks of the season, and the Lions still performed very strongly. So they've got a deep midfield, haven't they? And Will Ashcroft, that man on picture, he was outstanding in that first half.
11 tackles for Josh Dunkley, Jason. That is why you are loving it so much. So, Lee, the key to this so far has been the fact that the Brisbane Lions have been able to take away the Suns' biggest strength.
Well, I think they're playing a higher tempo better. Whenever the Suns look like they want to run the ball and link up, they're turning it over. They're just not being able to be quick enough either by mind or body at this point.
So they're the things that the Suns have done so well in season 2025. But tonight, Brisbane's not just matching them, they're outdoing them in their key areas.
They're suffocating them too. They're starting to lock the ball in their front half. We saw a lot of forward 50 stoppages in that quarter particularly. And that's what they do to the opposition, the Lions, when they're at their best. So they move it quickly, they get into their front half, they lock it in, they squeeze the opposition, and then they wait for teams to make mistakes, which we saw John Noble kick in, where he kicked it straight to Will Ashcroft.
Let's take a look at our Samsung halftime highlights powered by Gemini. And Hugh McCluggage has been huge, bouncing back after a really quiet and uncharacteristically quiet game last week, Jace. He has been in everything.
Yeah, huge Hugh, as you called him. He has bounced back beautifully. He's getting clearances, he's getting possessions around the ground. He's found himself in some really good positions. And it's funny, he used to be more of an outside player and he's just turned himself into a serious inside player who can then still get on the outside when he needs to.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. I mean, and Will Ashcroft, I mean, that's the thing about when you got the deep midfield. Lockie Neal's injured tonight, as we know. But the McCluggage is having a really good night. Bailey's getting on the end of it. So they've just got that half a dozen players. Brain is playing with enormous energy. Yeah. So they've just been too strong and too tough inside for the Suns so far. Too deep for the midfield, the Gold Coast midfield at the moment. And Bailey Humphrey hasn't been able to touch the ball as well. So he's the guy that trying to offset Cam Rayner. Cam Rayner, very influential. Humphrey had no impact.
Been really quiet. He did have some big moments in that elimination final, so you know what he can do if he gets hot, yeah. Jonathan. What about the Lions' ability to punish from turnover? We saw that fantastic goal to Kai Lohman, a different look for Lohman tonight, but that same punishment that the Lions are known for.
Yeah, this is the strength of theirs. When they're up and about, they do this really well. They score heavily from half back. That was the run to the premiership last year. They were the best team in the competition the second half of the season. That's on tonight. So they move the ball with great precision. Obviously, then they've been able to win contests here of the ball, which has been a bit of a struggle for the Lions the last 6 weeks especially. So, yes, they've had injuries, but tonight they've won contests here of the ball, which has helped them score.
They're certainly taking the game on. Chris Fagan told us on Fox Footy before the game that they were going to be aggressive. We know that's when they play their absolute best football. Here's the insights he provided us with on Fox Footy earlier tonight.
It's still aggressive to go into the corridor. Do you go to the likes of Zorko and Wilmot and say still pull the trigger, you just back them in?
You've got to back them in. You can't play careful. I think it's important that we you know, our ball use is one of our strengths, so we'll go with it.
Well, it's working for them, isn't it, Lee? Going with it.
Quick and accurate, that's the point. If you play quick and inaccurate, you turn the ball over. But the Lions tonight, they can play real high-tempo, fast-moving football. And even their forwards, they're not going to mark the ball in the big high ball in the forward line, but they've all got speed and power, most of their team.
Let's head down to ground level and Alistair Lynch. Lynchy, when they attack the corridor, they look awesome.
Yeah, they certainly do, Sarah. And we know that against Geelong last week on the back of pressure, they turned over a bit of that transition ball through the corridor. So we saw, especially in the first quarter, the transition off half-back. They scored 6 goals from defensive half, and it was the aggressive ball movement from the likes of Zorko. So we just see here, they were going around laterally, just looking for something to open up in the corridor. Now, Dane Zorko gets in, pulls the trigger. In a split second, he goes. And then you've got to put a block on him because he'll go again. And once he gets involved again, hits the target inside 50, misses there but in a dangerous position and sets up for a goal here eventually to Logan Morris, and that is the story of the first half. The transition game, they're dominating, and the other aspect when they last played, the Gold Coast Suns and got smacked off the park was clearances, and they've been able to restrict the Suns to just 1 goal from stoppages in that first half. In the game 6 weeks ago, it was 13 from stoppages, so a massive win on transition and a huge win in clearances as well.
It's been really eye-catching, hasn't it, Brownie? I know the position we're watching from up here behind the goals, you can see that transition and the speed with which they're doing it.
They've got great energy tonight in all parts of the ground. I think some of their energisers, Will Ashcroft we've spoken about, Darcy Wilmot's been fantastic. He's done a really good job of Bailey Humphrey getting involved though with the flow of play. And Kai Lohman ahead of the ball. He's an energiser as well. So even with the haircut, might have been a bit doubtful on the technique and how well it went, Jace, but his form's been good tonight. It's worked. So those 3 guys have been critical for them.
A big second half coming up here from the Gabba, and a big show on Monday night, AFL 360, to review all of the weekend's action and, of course, look ahead to the preliminary finals. Sam Mitchell will join after the Hawks' great win. And will it be Chris Fagan or will it be Damien Hardwick on the couch also to run their eye over what will be a superb weekend of preliminary final action?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie G in the house. What's going on, Eddie G? What's going on? There we go. It is the Brisbane Lions. They're dominating this game, 9-6-60, 5-5-35. The Suns, 25-point margin here at half-time, and it looks like, well, if the Suns don't improve, looks like it's going to be 2 of the classic games coming up next week to see who plays off in the big dance of the final stage for the grand final. Going to be looking forward to it. Freo would have been copped to hiding by Brizzy too. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I tell you what, Brisbane, as I said in the comments, Brisbane are just going about their business. I think a couple of the players for Brisbane, certainly Rayner and Hugh McCluggage, hey, don't forget your luggage bags. They're the 2 ones that are turning it on for the Lions, of course. What's the name's doing all right? Zorko's doing all right too, off the half back for the Lions. The Suns, there's just no standout player for the Suns. They're just... it's just like the occasion is just too big for them. I think they got this far into the season to a semi-final. Tell you what, don't write them off just yet. 25 points of margin. We know they can put on goals pretty quickly. I'm sure Damien Hardwick will bring his charges in there at half-time, reset, and go out there in the third quarter a little bit more focused. It's certainly really going to be interesting to see this. As I said, none of the Suns have been, there's no standout Suns out there, in my opinion, out there at the moment. It's just all been Brisbane Lions, especially if you're actually watching the game. You'll probably see the same as what I'm thinking, and that is Brisbane Lions are well and truly in control. I mean, all we can say, there we go. Addy G says probably Magpies will win the grand final. Cheers, Addy. Good stuff. We know Addy G's second favourite team is the Maggies. There we go. But, look, don't write off the Gold Coast Suns yet. Just 25 points of margin here at half-time. Anything could happen. As I said, the Gold Coast Suns, the way they've been playing at the moment, I think they'd take that. I think they'd take just the 25 points in the rears up until half-time, especially when they've had no run, no momentum. It's just been Brisbane, so I think 25 points of margin. The Suns will be going in quite happy that the Brisbane Lions are only 9-6-60, 25 points at the moment. That's it, Magpie Madness. And he loves the Magpies if he doesn't go for Freo. He's going for the Magpies. That's it. We appreciate Eddie for going for the Magpies. We know when Eddie says boo pies, boo Magpies, we know he means I love the Magpies. Go, go, go. But as it stands at the moment, folks, to tell you what, we're shaping in for a couple of ring-a-ding-ding games next week. I think it's already on the list, isn't it? I think, who have we got? Geelong going to play Hawthorn. And, of course, Collingwood will be meeting the winner of this game. At the moment, it looks like the Brisbane Lions. That's what I said, classic. I think, you know what, I just need to apologise for the Brisbane Lions fans, but I think the Magpies will give them an absolute shellacking on what we're seeing tonight. And, of course, we think Geelong will get the job done over Hawthorn. So it's pretty well the Stripes versus Stripes. There we go, up versus sideways Stripes. Hang on, let me just see if the commentators are back. We'll get back over to there. I'm happy to buy you a Collingwood Guernsey. There we go. I'm sure he'll wear it with pride as well.
Watch that big final against the Pies.
They'll be coming from
let me just head back down to the commentators for a couple of minutes.
Finals next week, and even though Brisbane's in control, I think the Suns have got an answer yet.
It feels like they've got more to fire tonight. Let's head into the Fox Footy newsroom with thanks to Matronics. David Zeta is standing by. And David, is there some injury concerns for the Hawks heading into that massive preliminary final?
Look, they should be okay, but there's always concerns at this time of the season. So Geelong and Hawthorn, their first preliminary final since that unbelievable 2013 prelim when the Kennett curse was finally broken. Hawthorn's first prelim since 2015. They are hoping to have Jack Gunston and Jack Ginnivan both out there on the park. That is despite them spending a large part of the last quarter on the bench. They had some hamstring tightness. The game was well in hand by that point, but notably, they were both on there for quite a bit of time. Sam Mitchell, though, quite confident both will make it to the line on Friday night. This is what he had to say, mainly about Jack Gunston post-match.
We had a few guys who probably struggled to recover from last week. Last week, the game went for like 141 minutes or something. So we had a few guys who pulled up pretty stiff and sore from that game. So late in the game, he was pretty stiff and sore. So we decided to get him out. Guinea had a big week, sort of struggled to get, only just sort of got up for the game. So we were able to get him on ice, and probably Jarman was the other one. And we thought if we could get those guys off late, that would help us.
So the Hawks have today and tomorrow off, and then they're back in at the club on Monday for a group recovery session. The main session on Wednesday, that will be telling in terms of how they get through the match. Now, a pretty significant blow, probably the only bit of bad news from the weekend for the Hawks is Luke Bruce. Now, he suffered what looks to be a significant knee injury in the VFL. This was quite nasty to watch, and he would very likely has played his final game in his decorated AFL career. So you could understand if there were a fair few tears tonight, but there'll be smiles, I'm sure, in due time, given the incredible career he has put together. Now, also speaking of great careers, Taylor Walker still yet to make a call on his future. The Crows will wait for that in the exit meetings as they kick off next week. They're truly not sure yet whether he's going to play on or not. They genuinely don't know which way he is going to go. Normally, these calls are made a bit earlier in the season by Taylor Walker, so the fact that it's taken this long, he wants to wait until this point to make his decision. Brodie Smith as well to make a call there. And Collingwood, of course, we know awaits the winner of this clash, and there were some interesting faces at training. So Brody Myercheck was one who came off the track and didn't partake in match play yesterday, but he did do a running program and got through all that was asked of him. He's going to try and reintegrate into training early next week. Jeremy Howe trained well yesterday, but was held back from match play. It's all going to come down to how he goes during the week. And that man, Bobby Hill, so much intrigue around whether he is match fit and ready to go. He kicked 4 goals against Geelong in an unofficial match just to prove his case and push his name forward for selection. Whether he's a sub, whether the Pies take a gamble on him in a preliminary final, it is going to be a must-watch thing. So plenty going on, so many storylines. One still to be written, though, Sarah, in the second half.
So many storylines indeed, Jace Luke Bruce. That would be a cruel way to end what's been a wonderful career.
Yeah, he's been a superstar. Would have loved to have kept himself in the mix playing that VFL game just to keep his fitness up to speed. But whatever happens, I think we're going to salute a wonderful career.
He has been awesome. We're going to head down to Alistair Lynch now, who's got a man who has dominated in the middle of the Gabba plenty of times. Lynchy, who's there?
Uzi, thanks for joining us. A massive summer of cricket coming up on Fox Sports, and only 2 months away from the second test here at the Gabba. What are you looking forward to?
Just getting out there. The Ashes is so special for us.
All right, they're just talking to Usam Khawaja. I think that's the batter for the Australian cricket team. There we go. Tex, yeah, look, you know what? I think Tex will play on. I think he played pretty good footy. He was playing fantastic footy all the way up until probably the match the other night. I mean, even against the Pies, he wasn't too bad in that final. But prior to that, I thought Tex was having having an absolute cracking season. I think he'll go on. I think maybe if the Crows had have got to the grand final and won it, I think he might have just hung the boots up then, going out on a sweet note. But I think the way they ended the Crows, I think Tex Walker might be back for another season. But yeah, there we go. Watch this space because we'll certainly find out about Tex. Luke Bruce there, as they were saying for Hawthorn. Look, pretty ordinary going down on his knee there, just twisted a bit. So it looks like, well, there we go. And a couple of the others, who are they saying? Gunston and Ginnivan pulled up a little bit tight. So, look, I'm sure they'll pull up all right for their match against Geelong. I think Gunston's the one you'd want to be out there. Ginnivan, not so much, I think, but Gunston's certainly the forward you'd want out there if you'd have to pick one of them. All right, just while commentators are still speaking, of course, we're only 3 minutes away for the bounce of the ball for the second half. Up here at the Gabba, whereas the Lions leading by 25 points. We're just going to have a pop over and have a little bit of a look at some of the stats for the good folk out there who love having a little bit of a look. For the goal scorers, let's check those out. For the Brisbane Lions, we've got Logan Morris, Will Ashcroft, both multiples with 2 apiece. Cam Rain, the Raging Bull, he's got 1. Kyle Lohman, I tell you what, if you're watching it, you wouldn't pick it was him because he's shaved his head. He hasn't got those beautiful blonde locks anymore. He's got 1 with Jared Berry and Zach Bailey. Calamachi's got 1. Of course, for the Suns, Ben King remains on 2 goals. Matty Rowell's got 1 with Sam Flanders. There's your goal scorers up until half time. Let's just duck over and have a look at the ball magnets. Of course, bags, that's right. That's Hugh McCluggage. Don't forget your luggage. He's on 21, well clear. Dane Zorko on 15. Hugh McCluggage, as I said, him and Rayner having great games out there this evening. Of course, Hugh McCluggage having well, can we say it? He had a ring ding, second quarter there. 21 touches up until half time. 5 kicks, 16 handballs. He's had a tackle, 5 clearances, going fantastic, as is Dane Zorko on 15. Will Ashcroft, 15 also there for the Brizzy Lions. 5 clearances and 2 goals there. Dunkley next best on 14. Of course, the best for the Suns there is Noah Anderson. He's had 14 disposals, 7 and 7. 3 clearances and a goal also. There we go. Next bet, Matt Rao is the next best there for the Suns, only on 12. So some of the stars for the Lions, they're shining brightly and not so much for the Suns. I tell you what, as I said, they'll go in, they'll reset at half-time. Hardwick will get into them. As I said, don't ride off them yet. I think the Gold Coast Suns still might have a little bit of a fight to give in the rest of this match. Johnny Noble on 10. Let's roll on down a little bit. As I said, there's Cam Rayner, 8 disposals, 5 kicks. I tell you what, he's the Raging Bull. He's so hard to tackle. He's a little bit like Dusty Martin. I tell you what, you try to do it, he just shakes him off or gives you the don't argue. Certainly a strong player out there. Kyle Oman with the 7, as I said. Bailey on 7 also. Logan Morris there for the Lions. He's had the 6 touches, all kicks. Kicked a couple, as I was saying. Alex Davies on 6. McAndrew just on the 6 there. Jared Witts. Well, he's having a little bit of a quiet game, as they all are the Suns, but Witsy, he's just had the 5, 2 kicks, 3 handballs, 26 hitouts, just the 1 clearance and tackle. So need a little bit more from him at the moment. Of course, Charlie Brum Cameron, that's right, he hasn't really set the ground alight yet. Still looking for him to pull out a few tricks of his bag. Just the 5 touches, 3 and 2 there for Charlie. And that's probably about all. Ben Long, well, he's just had the 2. Bailey Humphrey, just the 2 disposals as well. They've still got a fair bit to come. Let's have a little bit of a look. My gosh, that didn't reload up. We're going to do it now. There we go. If we look at the disposal count, well, holy moly, guacamole, 205, 150. It's the Lions by 55 disposal count. Just getting away a touch in the inside 50 are the Brisbane Lions. 33 inside forward, 50 for the Brisbane Lions, 15 scoring shots. Gold Coast Suns, only 21. Need to get a little bit more of that. 21 for their 10 scoring shots. Free kicks, well, the umpires, they're not going to, they're not going to need a new whistle for next week. That's good. They're letting the game flow as they should in the finals, 9-8. +1. Hit-outs, the Suns +9. Clearances, it's the Lions +3 out of the centre and +5 the stoppages. There we go. Contested, not too much in that, just +12 to the Lions. Let's head back down to the bounce of the ball for the second half, whereas the Lions by 25.
Season over for the loser of this one. Witts against Thorpe, knocks it down to Rowell. He's the guy. Gave it to Jeffrey. Flicks it to Weller. Nice clearance. Now Miller gets his moment. Puts it up again. They've been skying it. And Farah this time and not King. He needs a moment.
Yeah, really well done. Great body work there against Darcy Gardner. Came from the back spot, just swiveled his hips.
That's it.
And a good deep entry. We saw this early in the first quarter for the Suns when they did look dangerous. And it was against Darcy Gardner. It was Ben King, but this time Jai Farah, good mark. Must kick this. This is a huge kick to get some momentum back in the game for the Suns.
Been a great football resurrection story this year, Jai Farah. Just his fourth possession for the perfect start to the second half, and he guides it into the post.
Long ball, Zorko, absolutely perfect. He's done that a couple of times. To Bailey, who kicked the last goal of the first half. Happy to give up ground. Pokes it back to Zorko. He'll look for the corridor. It's crowded. Needs to be perfect. It's absolutely superb. Zorko cutting them to ribbons in the middle. Rayner. They managed to drag him down. Ashcroft again. Will pokes it inside to Lohman. And the kicking from Zorko is absolutely elite.
Well, he's just pulling the right club out of the bag every time. The man in front of the Brisbane Lions target has thought he's a chance every time. And it's just drifted over the top. And then, of course, it goes to the untackleable one, who just finds a way to get the hands clear. This is a big moment here for the Lions to put a real hole in the Suns' counter-punch.
He's already kicked one. Lohman draws it round. Lohman, no hair, absolutely no worries in front of big sticks. Gives the ball, bumps a rub, and the Lions are away now. 30-point leaders.
I had some concerns leading into the game with that haircut, but I tell you what, it's working. It's warmed on me. Maybe it might have been the two lines in the side of the head. But that's a great kick. And he's deflating his end for the Suns. So Jai Farah hits the post. They go there. Look at that kick, bang. Straight through there. Dane Zorko. He's done it many times before. Keeps pulling the trigger. And I like the new nickname, the untackleable one. Might be a bit long, but I think it sort of sounds okay. Especially if he keeps breaking them like that and critical. So make the most of your moments. And that's what Lohman does.
Well, you've got to beat the Lions at their game if you're going to compete. That's 7 goals now out of the defensive half, and Zorko is on song.
Yeah, Miller might have to try and shut him down. Stop that run off half-back. Got a few that got to shut down. Miller gave the handle up to Anderson. Caught, little roller. Here's Zorko again, rolling the tackle. He's like a city fox. He feeds on your garbage and then runs away with it. You've got to love him. Movie villain you can't kill.
City fox.
Flung in the air.
I don't know where you lived, Wayne.
Anderson gave it up. Humphrey needs to get a moment or two. He rolls it inside 50. All the answers. Starcevic. Fletcher. Good scoop. Clean-handed. Around his body. Bouncing ball. Rioli attacks it nicely. Gave it up. Little looping handball inside Fiorini. Miller, goal square, numbers back. Harris Andrews,
just got too many numbers.
As ever.
Yeah, too many numbers, the Lions. They know to set up behind the ball really well.
Here they go again. They just probe wide. If they can't find any options quickly, they will just be patient, switch back and look for corridor.
Gardner just engaged Farah. Made it easy for Harris Andrews. McCluggage, possession 23. What a night he's having. Potentially leading his team into a prelim. Zach Bailey's got 2 to beat, not beyond him. Jeffrey needs to be careful going across the face, opens the door. Berry claims the mark. Real concerns here for the Suns. He's tackled as he kicks. Here he comes again. Lohman takes to the sky, spills to the back. They can raffle it. Tackle comes. Looked a certain goal.
It's hard for the Suns to move the ball out of the back half, isn't it? Brisbane are just strangling them with their defensive setup, their pressure around the ball.
Flung in the air, you can't knock it through. From mid-air is a ruck. Leicester gets down. Looked a little high from here. Looked a little high from there as well. The umpire waited to see if there was an advantage, but Flanders will take it for the Suns.
Well, they're going to have to find some corridor. Some real aggression now. 5 goals down, you've got to go. Kicking deep like this, not really going to pay the bills. You've got to play with some real speed and aggression.
Anything positional, David, that they can do, the Suns?
Oh, I'd like to see them throw Rioli on the ball or Andrew forward, try and create some scoring.
Gee, that was an absolute shank, made it difficult. Collins is good enough to mop up. There is the aforementioned Rioli, pokes it to Buttery.
Another one's Humphrey too. Only had 3 disposals, hasn't done many centre bounces.
Just looks so well covered ahead of the footy, the Lions. Gardner's a loose man, standing 30 from home, so they can't just drop it long. And then they edge it towards the pocket to steer clear of that man. Reid, King, started the game well. Since Harris Andrews moved on him, it's been a more difficult assignment.
They're going to start from here. Take a leaf out of the Lions book, so try and suffocate the Lions. Lock it in your forward 50. You're a strong forward 50 stoppage team.
So Rowell waits down. Miller waits down. Weeks does the ruck work against Fort. Works his way to the front. Knocks it down in Rowell's direction. He's got it, but they've got him. Wrap around tackle by Rayner. Stopped him from going anywhere.
Stewie Dew, formerly coaching the Suns, now with the Lions. Premiership Hawk. Berry. The spiral out of defence. Sets a chase on the wing. Hard man to beat. Charlie Cameron picks it up cleanly. Started the game beautifully. He just gets rid of Jeffrey with some fancy footwork. Sends it forward. Ashcroft again. He's absolutely dominating. Well, misses.
Took off from that 450 stoppage.
At the speed of Charlie Cameron on the outer side.
Well, people are doubting him.
He's found a new lease of life. As Charlie. No country roads just yet, but home game finals, you are allowed to hit the tunes, and the crowd's ready to burst into song at some stage tonight. Wide ball, Witt's got there. They need a few more of those from him. He's not a big around the ground smart taker. Heads toward Mac Andrews, so maybe he has gone forward. In emergency break glass, Mac Andrew maybe the man. Maybe pushing him forward when the game's over.
I think he has.
Yeah, he could have swallowed that, Dwayne. Yeah, he's pushing it full forward now. I like that move.
Leicester's tracking him back. Just gets it done, Leicester. Fort close to the line. Just stays in play to protect him.
Been the hero a couple of times. Mac Andrew kicked the last goal of the match against Fremantle last week. Tied the scores with a couple of minutes left. Kicked the match winner after the siren against Essendon. So Damien Hardwick's pulled the trigger there. Rayner burst his way through a couple. Splendid. Had the core strength. It's wide. Huge leap from Morris.
Realistic.
And the umpire said it was unrealistic. Looked pretty realistic from here.
Realistic. Stand there. Stand. Stay out.
So Farah back. Max forward. Noble just in front of Starcevic. True centre half back. Favours the near side. Braden Fiorini.
Just no flow whatsoever.
Brisbane's hit the corridor repeatedly, haven't they, Brownie? It hasn't been available for the Suns, or they haven't been prepared to take it on. Here comes Mac from behind. He stays out of the contest. Free kick against Harris to King. Mac shapes to the pocket. He'll be out of this contest. Reid flies across. Just floating.
Too slow to the ball. We said Jared Berry was there for an eternity. You know, he's a terrific marker when he gets back there off the wing.
Ethan Reid, this game 25. Hasn't quite found his form in this one. Leicester goes wide. Harris Andrews, the captain, holds it up.
I think the Suns look a bit slow with their movement, King. Not taking enough risk.
And maybe the big trip across Australia has taken something out of them. Maybe the edge is off them a little bit with their work rate.
Great smother by King. Keeps it in the area. Could that inspire them? Flick handball further forward. Flanders from Fiorini. Poke pass. King's under it. He leaves it. Reid does get his moment. Has he got this kick in him? He doesn't believe he has. He goes inside to Humphrey. Good strength. Is this the comeback? A little bit of a change up forward might work.
He's the man, Dwayne. He did it last week in that second quarter. He ignited the Suns against the Dockers. He's their version of Cam Rayner, albeit a few years younger.
So 3-goal quarter last week. Changed the game. It's going with a hook kick from directly out, and it doesn't work. Strange option from there, but all the cool kids are doing it.
Immediate the lines, pump it straight through the middle. Levi Ashcroft splits it wide.
You'll never convince me, King. You'll never convince me from directly in front. That's a better option.
There's a turnover opportunity. Andrews there if he can receive it from Flanders. Lester comes the other way to make up for the error. Straight lines the footy as he so often does. Puts it to Will Ashcroft. Rayner, feign to give it back to Will. Again, the untacklable one. Lives up to the name. Back to Will Ashcroft. They point towards goal. He's got Archie further wide. Assesses Archie. In the end, drives it right to the teeth of goal. And coming in over the top of Collins is Bailey. And they're unstoppable at the moment, the Brisbane Lions. Plays on, hooks it round the corner. Humphrey misses one end, Bailey at the other. Big margin now, 6 goals.
That's the 5th time he's broken tackles for the night, Rayner. And at this level, you just get into clear air and you put teammates into uncontested possession change. You just pay a price. Again from the back line. They have smashed bringing the ball out of the back half. That's their 8th goal now. And just look at this. He's there to get. Mac, he's your man. Bang, straight through. Draws a crowd, and you get the overlap forward of the ball. Terrific play, Brisbane.
Great effort. 6 goals from defensive 50, 8 from the back half. Do you think that nickname will stick? The untacklable one?
No.
Keeps going. Keeps going at this rate, he will.
None of them do, but 5 broken tackles in a game.
It is a mouthful in free-flowing commentary, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a commentator's disaster. Sorry about that.
The reigning premiers put their foot down, aiming to get to a 3rd straight grand final in a row. Prelim next week. If they win this one, it's going to be massive against the Magpies, and they're ever closer.
Look at that Teflon cap. Is that any better?
Flung in the air, big pack around it, monster pack around it, tea towel over 20. And a good step from Rayner again. Here he goes. He floats it. They couldn't tackle him again. Will Ashcroft pokes it inside 50 over the head of Loman. Collins collects, puts out the big jousting stick, got away with it. Jeffrey wide. Everything under heat though for the Suns, and that's too much heat on the full.
No sub yet, Swallow or Reveal.
It's imminent though, I think. David Swallow on the phone.
Game 249 for David Swallow. Only Robbie Flower with 270 games had to wait longer for a final. Miller, Reid, just kicking under pressure constantly, and Harris Andrews. That is the proverbial bread and butter for Harris.
And then straight back into this game, making them defend for long periods and making them defend full ground.
Lester, who keeps on keeping on. Maintains possession. The big leap didn't quite work for Archie. And the umpire said it was an unrealistic, was it? Got hands on it.
Just
high. The initial one. That was the one afterwards.
Rioli wide.
I'd like to see Rioli play with a bit more dare. He's the one that can threaten to get them back into the game.
Butterick heads in the Reid direction, overcooked a little. Ball falls to the back, boundary line. The sanctuary, and it was a try. Got it over the line. And insufficient intent. Ainsworth's got to do here.
So you got 3 on 2 there. You just need to go to the top of the goal score. The umpire may be resetting.
Takes his time. So lets it fly. Mac Andrews down there. Reid's down there, and the big fists kill it.
Brisbane by 1 at quarter time, 25 at half time with the last 3 before the major break. They've kicked 2 goals to zip this term to take it out to a 35-point game-high margin. Will Ashcroft has been dominant. This time it's his brother Levi. Sends it to the outer side.
Crowd's into it as well. Suns at breaking strain. Lions fans know it. Okay. So Lock and Swallow inject. Last week he was superb. The big O rips it out of the air, wants to take control as well. Humphrey on the spin. Miller gets it back. Anderson caught under immense pressure again, and they're out. Fetcher's kick smothered, ricochet, but it's still got the numbers around it. Noble has to go back to go forward to Farah, who's been pushed back. Hands it up. Fiorini out wide. Flanders, they can reset.
Struggled inside 50 all night. A touch short of his Swallow in game 249. The hero from last week. Foundation player. Ben King's fallen over as the ball was heading in his direction. Fiorini.
He fallen over, he just pushed and shoved into the ground by Harris Andrews. The umpire didn't think it was sufficient enough for a free kick. He looked it from here. After a big start, Ben King just hasn't been able to get in the game. The ball flow hasn't been great.
Harris has been brilliant.
Yeah.
Long arm of the law down there. Harris Andrews has taken control. Mac Andrew, sure he knew which direction to go. Sure. Harris Andrews.
Yeah, just losing energy now, the Suns. They're getting fumbly as well. Just cracking under this pressure of the Brisbane Lions.
Charlie on the move.
Some real flow to the Lions football now. Again, he looks to the middle of the Gabba, and again, it's this man, Will Ashcroft. Continues to Rayner, breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles, goes on the left with a low ball.
Some fans that have made the journey, a little worried now, it might be over. Still a ton of time left. Hewlin. They need a hero in a hurry now, the Suns. Who's it going to be? Butterick looks around to see what's on offer. Not a lot there. It's cautious down the line. Kick to half forward, and Harris Andrews again with that long arm of the law. Tried to pull it down with one paw. Umpire says, I'll have it. Ball up.
Nominate. Back. Oscar, straight back.
As Lynchy surmised it's Reed subbed out of the game. Bruce Reveal yet to get an opportunity. There is Ethan Reed, 4 disposals for the evening.
Just haven't had enough midfielders been able to have an impact here. So Anderson and Rowell had plenty of footy, but Miller up there as well. Need some support.
McCluggage, Rowell, Berry, Wilmot. Little check side round the outer side. Mark Tugg in front of Farah. Morris sends it deep. Cameron will be dangerous if it gets out the back, but it doesn't when the great wall of Collins takes charge.
Massive 7 minutes coming up, especially for the Suns. The season could be over. Come three-quarter time, but they can see another 1 or 2 here. Love to get one. Give themselves some momentum. Swallow used his body on Starcevic, goes and gets it. Little paddle didn't quite work. Is that a high tackle? Yes, it is. So Butterick, if he can get up, he was knocked to the head. About to send them to half forward.
Got to use Farah, got to go through corridor here. Got to take the risk.
Rowell up for disposal 15.
They haven't even got any players in there. They just haven't even attempted it.
They just look out of gas.
Really shaped to go that way, but in the end, it's a conservative kick to the pocket, and the spoil comes.
All gas, no brakes. Just running a bit light on.
Might have used all their gas last week.
It looks that way, doesn't it? Such a big effort to go across to Perth and get the job done.
Tough trip, especially for a younger side.
And Brisbane have made them defend for long periods tonight.
Spot on.
And there is talk about whether that was their grand final last week. It was the biggest victory in Suns history. Now, awesome last week, but it's been a tougher task today. Rowell can't get away with it. McCluggage can't get away with it. Both had a piece of it. The umpire says ball. So here is the chance to get a late one. Miller. And Turk back pedals. He's within range. And back from a hamstring injury a month ago. He's had his run-ins with Dane Zorko over time. They've left each other alone for the most part tonight, even though they've been side by side. Not a lot of nouns and verbs exchanged. But this would be massive if he kicks it. And he struts, opens it up, and he blasts it wide. Golden opportunity gone.
Watched on by his father in the crowd. Wilmot. 50 metre is pinpoint. And Gardner off one step. Good mark taken in front. He's been zippy tonight, Charlie Cameron.
Yeah, absolutely. He's found that yard that people questioned. Thought he lost it. It's back tonight, Howie.
He roamed far and wide as well, Brown. He hasn't been stuck inside 50.
Yeah, that was important. You know, when he's played his better footy this year, he's got up the ground.
This is what we're talking about. When you play against the Lions, you've got to defend a lot of this type of ball.
They spread the Suns' defence. Leicester.
Now they look for corridor.
Immediately looks inboard, but goes by hand to Marshall, and he darts that way to illustrate the point. Goes to centre half forward. Rainer's got 3 to beat. You wouldn't put it past him. Berry opens up ahead of him. Ignores the handball. Sends it forward. And misses.
A couple of chances to kick goals, Berry. He's passes instead.
He's brought that into a 3-on-1. I mean, that is...
It was Cam Rayner, though. I'll give him an out.
Howe took the step outside the square. And he bangs it, and it'll be coming back. Guess who? Berry again. Almost 50. McAndrew ran past him. Got into his area. Collins tried to kill him. He didn't kill him. That is an extraordinary mark that has been paid.
Gallop.
So a huge chance for Gallop.
He's shown some good signs tonight. His 4th game. Try Gallop.
Marked the last one between his legs.
Probably had a bit of help from Sam Collins' fifth.
Wow. That's a great mark.
Big moment. Hasn't kicked a goal in AFL footy. Can really put a space in him and raise the crowd with his first in the AFL. What a moment for him.
The Chili Peppers. Just waiting for what the song was. All the boys are pumped in the crowd. Good finish. He's done some nice things. Competed well out of the box. That's been the challenge for the Lions, hasn't it, King? The last few weeks especially, finding enough aerial targets ahead. You know, and that's a bonus to take the mark, but at least stop the opposition from marking.
Not many have done that versus Sam Collins in the last 2 to 3 years. That's a big moment for the young man.
Yeah.
Son of a gun in the western region of Melbourne.
Oh man, good play, King.
Yeah, could find a bit too, Dwayne. But I think there's a bit of fight in this young fella, Brownie. I like the development and where they're going.
He's got a wide set of shoulders on him too. Something I can't relate to.
They kicked the last 6, King. 8 of the last 9 now. So 8 of the last 9 going the way of Brisbane. They're starting to toy with them. Fort sends a ball to 30 from home. Here comes Bailey. He's got some toe. Just gets away from him. Jeffrey needs to be clever by hand to Noble. Forward hand pass, Fiorini. High ball out of side. Harris Andrews impacts the contest. Goes back by hand to Wilmot. Now they'll reload off the wing.
Fort floats it to half forward, and Hewlin stops the right. And they want to take it on now. Farah can get and go. Puts the speed on him. He went too quick for his own shoes. Gone. Little things becoming big things now. Gallop. Another big moment. Looks up. He pumps it. Heads to the goal square. The big... Oh! Got a hand on it. Still a chance. Big Oscar! Oh. Post behind. Charlie lurking. Big Oscar lurking. They are threatening to put this one away.
The crowd just wants to hear John Denver.
They do.
Just to really get him the full voice.
Weller trying to bring a bit of flow to Miller. Fletcher, Butterick spills out the back. Barrett tracks it, doesn't get the bounce he's after. Gallup does well here. They'll come again through Fletcher. Dunkley takes on the tackle, rides it, gets the hand pass away. Berry's been influential in the term. Ball to be won. McCluggage just hoovers in there.
Crowd know now. A few of the Suns players even know. 43 points. Flung in the air. Rao extracts it, got a little roller. Rayner tackled, rode him. Jeffrey going nowhere. Another ball up. 2:11 left to three-quarter time. Ball smacked down to Rowell again. His handball's in hope. Humphrey hasn't had a big night at the office. He's got the knee strapped and maybe has an issue. Changed his mind after the ball drop. Got her off to Davies. He's got Mac Andrews short. He put it too short. Lester put it down. Still a chance for Archie. Threads his way through the traffic. Gone. Swallow. Is this beyond his range? It was the hero last week. Heads toward the square. Ainsworth got a hand on it, but that was it. The ball out.
Been well connected behind the ball tonight, King. The Lions defence. Got the spacings right. Very rarely you've seen a Suns player out in his own forward of the ball.
Wits look for Miller.
Fort, Wits go at it. Congested again, but their body's in there.
And a difficult thing to do in game, Lynchy. You know better than most, to go from the second target to the main man.
What's your game, Brendan?
He nodded off.
He was offended by that. He just was started on the main man.
Humphreys throws it forward. And he screws it wide. There's the man from Moe.
Oh, that's a point.
So he went through the points, did he?
Yeah. He was lucky the umpire the ball was coming back in. Oh no, he's going to throw it in.
Throw it in, so he played on, went across. There you go.
He kicked it through the behinds.
Hey guys.
Weird, but maybe it could be an advantage. Just got to read that fine print in the rule book for that one. The umpires knew what was happening there. Swallow again through the traffic to Jeffrey. Feeds it back out. Humphrey turned in. Gets a bit of room to move. Hammers it high. Archie stands under it and waits and collects with ease.
And there's the difference in bodywork. You see Harris Andrews do the early job on Ben King, and in the end, takes him out of the contest without giving away the free kick.
Zorko directing traffic ahead of the footy. 55-metre drop punt down the outer wing. Couple fly. Gallup's becoming more and more influential in this game.
Yeah, speaking of impressive, he's just really working into this game.
Kicked his first goal moments ago. Looked it round from the boundary. McCluggage reads it perfectly. Stays down. Just spilled away from him at the end. It's Brisbane by a point at quarter time, 25 at half time. They've kicked the last 6 of the game, 8 of the last 9, and the only 3 of the term to take it out to a 43-point margin in the shadows of the final break.
Just coming this way again. This way again. This way.
Nicely picked up Levi Ashcroft. Arches the back. Sends it inside 50 for a final time for the term. The Suns come with the fists. Dominant term for the home side, though. They kick the only 3 of the term. Collingwood away. Brisbane are not there yet, but they're on the way to a preliminary final. They lead the Gold Coast Suns at three-quarter time by a game-high 43-point margin.
All right, there we go. Three-quarter time, and it's just about lights out for the Suns. 12-10-82, the Brisbane Lions. 5-9-39, the Gold Coast Suns. There we go, 43 points, the margin. 2 week semis. Yeah, certainly were. There we go. the Gold Coast Suns, they could only manage 4 points in that third term where we thought, well, after reset, they'd come out a different side with a little bit of fire in their belly. But, well, I think that's all but been distinguished right now. 3 goals for the Brisbane Lions in that third term, extending their lead. I tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me within the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I get a few of the Gold Coast Suns starting to leave the stadium up there at the Gabba. Certainly not the game we sort of came to want to see tonight. We wanted to see a close game. It was a game, I think, even though the Brisbane Lions went into this game favourites, I think a lot of people thought the Gold Coast Suns, with a healthy list, would just about get the job done. But I'll tell you what, it's the experience of some of the older fellas in the Brisbane Lions, even with their outs, their injury list, they're still doing it strong, still doing it well. Bring on next week. There we go. All right, let's just duck over and see what's happening in the goal-scoring ranks over here at the moment. Of course, Logan Morris, Kai Lohman and Zach Bailey, Will Ashcroft, all got 2 goals apiece there for the Brizzy Lions. Cam Rayner, the Raging Bull, Ty Gallop, Giddy Up, Jared Berry, Callum Achiel, singles. For the Gold Coast Suns, I tell you what, there's not many folks. Ben King with 2, Matt Rowell, Sam Flanders, Noah Anderson, singles there for the Gold Coast Suns. Oh, the ball magnets, Hugh McCluggage, 26. Don't forget your luggage. 7 kicks, 19 handballs, 7 clearances, 3 tackles. Having a great game. Will Ashcroft, 21. He's kicked 2 and 1, 5 clearances. Tuke Miller climbs that table for the Gold Coast Suns, leading their way, third out on the ground on the stats with 20, 8 kicks, 12 handballs, 2 clearances and a behind. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to slot a major yet. Darcy Wilnot, Berry, both on 19. Zorko, 18. There we go. Matty Rao, 6 clearances, 17 disposals. Josh Dunkley's had 15 tackles, if you don't mind, umpire. Josh Dunkley, 17 possessions, 15 tackles, 3 as well. Harris Andrews, there we go. 15 disposals, 11 kicks, 4 handballs, 10 marks. Into the double figures there. Darcy Fort, 17 hitouts there for the Brisbane Lions, 9 disposals. Who we got there? Sam Flanders, 13. Will Powell, just the 9 there. And Ben Ainsworth, just the 9 touches there for the Suns, 2 behinds for him. The big man, Oscar McInerney, and tell you what, he's getting his chance to have another game. Well done, big man. Remember, he missed the grand final for the Brisbane Lions last time. He's on 8 disposals, 13 hitouts, 2 clearances, going around very, very nicely. All right, there are your stats for your players up until three-quarter time. Hey, what's going to happen in the final term, folks? Can the Gold Coast Suns actually give a little bit of a fight back? 43 points. It's nearing the impossible, the way they're playing at the moment. Then again, nothing's impossible. If you get on a run, if you get on a hot streak, you could give it a little bit of a shake. But I tell you what, that's what we can hope. We can hope the Suns kick the first 2 or 3, make it a little bit more of an interesting game. But Brisbane Lions, at the moment, doing it at their pleasure, doing whatever they want out on the ground. I tell you what, it's like the teacher versus the student. The Queensland clash out there this evening. All right, folks. Hey, Hudson, how you going? Welcome in. There we go. All right, let's head back down to the ground. We're only a minute away from the final action, where it is season over for one of these teams. Who's it going to be? We'll certainly find out soon. Let's head back down to the ground, and they'll lead us into the final quarter.
Fame legends Jason Dunstall and Lee Matthews. And Lee, what about Cam Rayner's performance tonight? The broken tackles, 8. It is the most we've seen since the great Dustin Martin.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of things are changing footy, but broken tackles kill the team who doesn't lay the tackle. And Rayner has been impossible to tackle tonight. On the other hand, Dunkley's laid about 15. So in terms of that part of the game, the Lions have dominated since the first 5 minutes, let's face it. But that part of the game has been outstanding.
Jason, Josh Dunkley, his role tonight was always going to be crucial given he was going up against Matt Rowell. He's in seriously good form at the moment.
He is, and he's beaten Rowell now. He's on top in this one. And look at that, 15 tackles, the second most by any player in win a final. His work rate just continues to skyrocket. It's a shame for the Suns because they, apart from the opening 10 minutes, they haven't fired a shot. And funnily enough, it was 3-0 to Brisbane in that third term. It could have been 6, 7 or 8 goals. They missed 4 or 5 gilt-edged opportunities to turn it into an absolute rout. So I just think Gold Coast, they need to salvage something from the last 30 minutes of their campaign this year.
They've got so many match winners, the Gold Coast Suns. Alistair Lynch is going to chat to us about another one in Hugh McCluggage.
Yeah, absolutely. There was plenty of concern about Hugh McCluggage after being tagged out of the game against Geelong last week, and concerns around his knee injury. But we know with Hugh today, after that 14 disposals, disappointing game last week, he's led the way with 26 touches. He's had the 7 clearances as well, and this is a really encouraging sign, obviously with the combination of Will Ashcroft, who is the highest rated player on the ground as well. That is a potent couple of weapons in the midfield for the Brisbane Lions.
Winner to play Collingwood in the prelim next week. Cats and the Hawks in the other prelim. They're on the canvas here, the Suns, 43 points down. Can they get up and land some punches with a round left? Fought in the ruck. Clearances are going to be huge. Bailey couldn't quite strip it. Wilmot off the deck, floats it wide. Loman in pursuit with Noble. And the ball too quick for them both.
More impact tonight, Darcy Wilmot, kicking at 86% last week. He got the touches, but he made mistakes. He was pressured up by the Geelong forwards. Good response tonight.
Those 15 tackles in the final by Dunkley, number 2 behind Jimmy Bartell in the 2009 grand final where he had 16. So Josh Dunkley just 1 tackle behind him there.
Yeah, we were sitting on that Statman King for hoping to get through 3/4 time.
Sorry.
Our big dogs just stole it from us.
Cameron run down from behind.
Just a small demarcation dispute.
Advantage. And it's gone the way of Cameron. He was held. Apologies.
You held him. Took him to the ground.
So a free kick to Charlie Cameron. The old Country Road CD has not been on high rotation. The crowd would love to hear it. Johnny Denver. It's been important tonight, Cameron.
Well, you just need to see this guy in full flight. If Brisbane had any chance in this premiership campaign, they need this guy at his best.
In his 25th final, Cameron starts it right, draws it back. Not enough.
He was reaching for the turntable though. Wasn't far away. Quick kick in, Anderson. Blasts it wide. Butterick stands under it, turns around and realises his ball to go for. Zorko always had his eyes on it. Ball hits the deck, flick by it, Rowell, it's good. Miller gave it to Butterick, going nowhere, and that's been the story. Had no room to move, no flow.
It's the new Melbourne coach. There it is. King, former Gold Coast Suns caretaker coach a couple of years ago.
Anderson keeps the ball in play. Back towards Fiorini. Now they've cut it off again. Rayner's got space. Assesses just to the near side.
He had a licence, surely.
Yeah, he did. And just to continue on with the Charlie Cameron discussion, 10 disposals, but 8 of those have become scores. That's the difference with Charlie.
It's the ball flicked to the back. Weller pursues. McCluggage pursues him. Weller puts the speed on, had a bounce, chips it inside 50. Bouncing ball. Lester did well. Zorko, clean-handed, flicks it wide. Charlie's lending a hand in defence. Little spin move and a delightful kick just flicked away from Gardner by Mac Andrew Balling.
Is that Nathan Murphy?
Nathan Murphy, yeah.
Under that backyard hat, is it?
Yeah,
Brandon?
it is too.
Joining tonight at the footy.
What are they doing up here?
Well, Nathan Murphy's involved at Collingwood, so he's probably just having a outing.
Well, he probably is, yeah. I'm sure Stephen King's obviously still Geelong, isn't he?
Yeah. Fort, brought to ground, former cat himself. Cameron's been important. Will Ashcroft has been massive. Rayner just crunches the pack and knocks into Collins. Not an easy man to destabilise, Sam Collins.
Sam Collins.
Little lull here in the crowd. You kind of know the way this one's going. Collins.
He wore it well, didn't he? Kimbo just ran straight into him. He gets up, Sam Collins.
He's going to hit the roof. Put some air in that. Humphrey couldn't mark it. Got the second bite at it, gave it up. So can Miller get this? Touched by Wilmot. Zorko, who's been everywhere again, hammers it wide, and they've got all the answers at the moment. Yep. Backs back, has a look. What does he want? Down the line, short pass, and he's really found his feet in this one tonight.
He's been a viable option, which is good for the Lions going forward, Brownie, if Gallup can draw a defender.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Ty Gallup's, he's one of 8 players 22 or under for the Lions tonight.
Jeffrey comes from behind. Big fist on it.
Yeah, it gets forgotten about a little bit. Still got some good young players.
We're going to need him next week. The Ashcrofts against the Dakai next week. What a battle that'll be. Brothers v brothers.
Dakai, plural of Dakai.
Sure. Official. Come on, about to be flung in. It's going to tick the box here. The Lions.
Dakai.
Down towards Jeffrey. Pounced back pocket, and he was content to run it out. No insufficient intent. The umpire knew, read his mind. Bailey. What's he going to do? Zach spinning the ball in his hands to land another punch here to the jaw. Opens it up, spins it around, and misses to the near side.
Noble to reset for the Suns. Brisbane by a point at quarter time, 25 at half time, 43 at three-quarter time. Kicked the last 6 goals of the match. Noble kicks under pressure. Rioli takes front position. Gives it to Anderson, hangs it up a touch to Miller. Now he's got Rao. The Stars combine. Rao just wrestles his way through, but he was legged. He'll get a free kick, Matt Rao. He's coming up for disposal. 18. Took Miller's 22. Noah Anderson 20.
Yeah, 6 goals in a row. 8 of the last 9 goals for the Lions. Harris Andrews stands under this. Gardner this time had the protection, called him in, took it, and took it with ease.
To Zorko. His kicking has been a highlight tonight. Bailey bashes it forward. Morris gathers it. Lyman's out the back. He's sharp, he's quick, but even with the new do, he can't track that one down.
You reckon his lighter can move quicker?
Yep.
Hasn't got the resistance.
Bruce looks like might be injected into the game.
Yeah, who are you taking off? McCluggage was probably sore coming into the game.
And they love Bruce here. Bruce. Flung in. Witts. Gallup does the ruck against him. Witts with the palm. They can do it again.
Dominate. Bailey. Oh, you going up? Thank you. Hands off.
Spike forward. Ewan. Powerful. High ball to the outer side. Well, plays it really well. Takes a bounce, takes a second bounce. Now he needs to get rid of it and does. It's a 2-on-1. Harris Andrews just does it easily.
Gee, he's a beautiful player to watch, Harris. I mean, his numbers are not going to read as a contender for best on ground honours, but what he's been able to do to this game has been significant. Just covers, doesn't he? He covers so well for his teammates.
Likewise, this guy, Zorko. Again, it looks like he bites off more than he can chew, but he's brilliant. Gallup, Berry, and they are burying them right now. Berry on the run, has a bounce, as soon as you want. He's got Rayner out the back, he goes shorter. Rayner still wants it long. Inside kick, Archie gets there, danced around a couple. Big Oscar! He's having some fun out there, though.
Any selection debate for Brisbane moving forward, Brownie, or not?
No, not unless Lockie Neal got up for the grand, if they made it to a grand final. So, and even that'd be unlikely, coming back from that calf injury.
So, if there's no injury concerns here, imagine they arrive unchanged next week?
I would have thought so. I think bringing McInerney in was the right call. So, he's a target forward of the ball. Obviously, he plays in the ruck as well.
Swallow hits Humphrey.
And they can use that to their advantage when they come up against the secondary ruck. I think like Witts has certainly been good with the hit-outs tonight, but when Ethan Reid went in there, that's where the Lions had a bit of an advantage with Fort and McInerney.
Bailey Humphrey, pick 6 back in 2022. Powerful player. And Harris Andrews, just as casual as ever, takes a mark like it's training, and Powell intercepts on the exit.
And just on, obviously, the opponent, if they play Collingwood next week, Mason Cox came back in, so you're going to need the height to combat Cox and Cameron.
Think Bobby Hill will get a run?
What do you think, King?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a risk worth taking. All reports is training the house down.
He did cause Brisbane problems in that 23 grand final.
Yeah, even if you used him as the sub from the scramble, Will Ashcroft has been doing a lot of the damage. A little poke pass from Marshall is good. Lyman turns and goes, and the umpire said you did go. Took a step. No one comes at him. Everyone's ignoring the umpire. No one comes at him. He lets him kick it out of bounds on the full, as if it was a soccer game, and he knew he had to give it back.
Mac Andrew floats in front of Starcevic. Spent most of the second half forward as Big Mac. Harris Andrew again. He's just in dominant form. King's yelling at himself, but Harris, 3-time All-Australian,
He's just putting on a clinic back there. And Bruce Reville's into the game. Sam Marshall's been subbed out.
Thanks for that, Lynchy. Inside kick to Zorko.
So, Lynchy, are they a better team with Harris Andrews on the absolute key target or the secondary target?
I think it's different with Payne not playing. I think if you got Payne there, you go Harris Andrews on the secondary target. But in these situations, with Lester and Gardner on the fringes, I'd be going Harris on the best. He reads it well enough to get off when need be anyway.
The gallop right before our eyes at the moment. Sits it up. Will Logan Morris go the big fly here? Oh. Rayner went up instead. Ball hits the deck. Lyman in slow motion almost. Centering kick. Wilmot feeds it up. There's so many options. Bruce! This will bring the house down, and he can't nail the goal just on. Maybe a little bit rusty. Bruce Reville.
Been a significant matchup this, hasn't it? Dunkley on Rao.
Outside 5, play on you. Yep. Stand.
6 clearances for Rao tonight. 19 disposals now.
Has he added another tackle, Dunkley, or not? I don't want to chop over the top of you, King. Long man.
He's done, mate. Okay. 16 he's up to now. Equal with Jimmy Bartell has the most in a final, at the 09 grand final.
Yep.
He goes one more, the most by a line in any game in history.
Ever, not just a final.
50.
I've gone back and checked Hayden Button Jr. Well, Hayden Button Sr., sorry, didn't even have that many tackles when he won his third Brownlow.
Not too far.
Into the pocket. He got it covered again.
They were called the Gorillas.
This research is too deep.
The Gorillas. Been an impressive performance, though, by the Lions.
Worked hard this week.
Yeah. It's almost up there with Dwayne's man from 420 BC or whatever it was.
That's true.
In the ice bar.
It's good to give him a mention.
Was his name
Hippocrates?
Dwayne?
Yeah, Hippocrates.
Hippocrates.
He started the cold bath thing.
Yeah.
460 BC. He knew the value of it.
Yeah.
Probably not tuning in tonight, Dwayne.
Little flick kick. Farah the other way. Caught though. Flung back to Noble. He goes back to go forward. Not a lot to go to. Just touches it on the deck. Loops it long. And long is the flyer. Can't mark it. Humphrey the crummer. In the pocket. Tries to grab himself a consolation prize. It's across the face, and here they go again. Harris Andrews, the general. Outside of the boot to Zach Bailey. Hunted down. Just ducked away with ease. Sees Charlie. Missed him.
Kicks it straight to Powell. Just had no flow going inside 50 all night, the Suns. Swallowed. And what could be his final game.
Well, they kicked the 2 first goals of the game, and you thought, hang on, we're in trouble here.
In zone.
Foundation player right to the square. Spills out the back. Berry's been influential throughout the match. Bailey clean below the knees. Pops it in front of himself. Rao, Ashcroft meet. Couple of tough fellas. Rao comes out and spikes it nicely inside. to Ainsworth.
Been an incredibly positive season for the Suns. They've come a long way, Brownie.
Huge.
And they've built a football club in the space of 2 seasons.
Is this sustainable, what we're seeing this year?
Oh, no question about it. And players want to start coming and play for this club as well. Saw it with Noble and Rioli in the off-season.
Ainsworth from on 50 strikes it sweetly. And finally, they break a run of 6 Brisbane Lion goals.
Yeah, so to come into your first final series and win a final, well, that's a bonus. So to get there was important, but to win one was really a bonus. Damien Harvick clearly knows what he's doing. So from everyone you talk to around the Gold Coast Suns, they talk about Dimmer's ability to instill belief in the group. And obviously to drive hard standards, he's not easy on them, especially over the pre-season. I heard it was a tough pre-season physically. And now you want players to stay at the club. Obviously, Rowell and Anderson have led the charge there. But I think it's only positive for the Suns.
What else do they need, Kingy, to move forward?
Well, they're going to get aggressive in the trade period. There's no doubting that. You know, there's thoughts around with, Charlie Curnow. Is he available? Is he gettable? Who knows? But I just feel like Damien Harvick's not going to sit idle and waste this talent or this group, particularly Rowell and Anderson in the midfield.
Spot on.
Fort and Wets to go at it again. Fort, secondary effort, hunted down. Still fighting hard, and McCluggage threads it out. Darcy Fort gets himself the clearance. Cuts ball. Miller attacks here. Caught by Levi Ashcroft. Got it to Davies. Spills. Miller. Rioli. The untackleable does some tackling himself and holds it up.
Davies stands McCluggage. Wits down towards that man Davies. Levi Ashcroft. Will Ashcroft. Hugh McCluggage. Lohman stands up in the tackle, does well. Look at the acceleration on camera. They want Country Road, but again, Johnny Denver doesn't get a roll.
Oh, listen, flat, the crowd.
Let's go.
Give him time. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left for Charlie. He's got a sniff now. Rioli to Flanders. Crowd want it. Charlie knows they want it. Wilmot cuts it off. So here's their chance. He's got a couple of options inside. He's got Morris calling for it long for the screamer. He sets it up. Can Morris get the run at it? He's up. He did get the fly and two. Collins rips it out of the air to Miller, who shoots a handball into traffic, strangely enough. Fletcher got it from Berry, chips it to Zach Bailey.
Zach Bailey, this will be his 4th shot of goal. I mean, that's a day out for Zach. I think if Chris Fagan was listing the things that have really pleased him tonight, their counter-punch from defensive half's been brilliant. Their stoppage game has just rendered Rowell and Anderson useless, and the return to form of their half-forward flanker types is significant.
For his 3rd, and Zach goes whack. It's going to be a big win for the Lions.
Yeah, absolutely. So, along with Rayner, 2 of the most dynamic players. They're their X-factor players. They need them up and about. Obviously, Rayner's been enormous tonight. Bailey's contributed as well. So, he's had a fantastic year, All-Australian. You're right, I agree with that, King. The flankers. No question about that. The Lohman's been very good. Wilmot's been very good off half-back flank. Charlie's been good. So, they're the energy guys. And they look like they've had much better energy tonight. Yeah, the Suns have looked a bit flat as soon as when the pressure's come on.
And McCluggage has got that knee heavily strapped.
They'll get that man back. He'll be working hard in the hyperbaric chamber.
Well, if he puts his hand up, it's going to make it really difficult for Chris Fagan to say no. I mean, he's an absolute professional. He's missed a fair bit of footy. Maybe it's the gamble they have to take. Time will tell.
Super sub. Josh Kelly like last week.
Brisbane beat Collingwood in round 21. Collingwood beat Brisbane in round 6, so they're one apiece. We'll come down to the MCG. Twilight football, 5:15 start, 4 o'clock coverage on Fox next Saturday afternoon. Oh, what a weekend that's in Melbourne. 2 big prelim finals, Dwayne.
Could be the biggest preliminary final weekend ever.
The crowd numbers?
Yep, 95 pluses, both of them.
Oh.
And they are the reigning premier, the Lions. They've been on the ropes a bit at times this season. And had players out with injury. We talked about Lockie Neal. Had a few missing at times, but you can't underestimate how much the experience has got to count in their favour. Next week, big stage, MCG, nowhere to hide. It's been a showcase tonight from them. Squeeze kick towards half forward. Clean bowls long. He hasn't been able to get anywhere near it tonight. Miller jumps in. Harris Andrews says no.
Can they go
on my turf?
Can they go with Collingwood next week, Brownie?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, on the road this year, they've been unbelievable, apart from last week against Geelong. So they get their confidence back. They've beaten Collingwood this year.
Zorko kicked stymied. Charlie tried to con the umpire, knew it wasn't the distance.
Dunkley, 17 tackles. There it is, the record in a final of any club. Beats Jimmy Bartell, 2009 grand final.
There's the pushy shove again. We expected it a bit earlier. Little float ball. Hewlin goes and gets it. Shakes the tackle attempt. Handball further forward. Swallow goes back. High bomb. King floats in. Couldn't mark it. Ravel dragged down. Roos. No prior, ball up.
Plus 11 the clearance is in favour of the Brisbane Lions. You wouldn't have picked that coming into tonight.
Nelly conceded a goal from stoppage.
Yeah.
83 points last time they met. They conceded from stoppage.
Good tackle, Wilmot.
10 scores to 3 from clearance tonight.
Yeah. And they've hunted.
It's a response, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what Brisbane do well. They do hunt the opposition around the footy when they're playing good.
Ford tries to bash it clear. McCluggage by foot straight to McAndrew. Wilmot just hand passed it as far as he could, only as far as Noble. Gets back on the right, sends it wide, too wide.
You get the sense, cricket style, Howie, if both captains got together, they'd just about call it off now.
Yep.
I think that's the one disappointing thing tonight. The Suns' entries inside 50 have been high and predictable. They've got to threaten more than that going forward.
Zorko to set it up again, goes a little bit too wide, and Weller content to take it out. But even the old guys, I mean, Dane Zorko again, it's been superb. Had 35 possessions last week, the most for the Lions in that loss last week.
This is a seasoned team. Been there since 2019. And they know how to ride the emotions of September, the ups and downs of September. Obviously, the Suns are just learning. So don't underestimate how difficult it would have been for the Suns to back up after last week. Huge emotional high and a big trip home.
Berry, 4-ball, Archie spins out of trouble, then back into trouble. So currently on the bench is Will Ashcroft, Rayner, Gardner and Morris. Will he try and maybe give McCluggage a spell with that knee in the closing stages, Chris Fagan?
Anderson down the spine, aggressive. Knocked away from the Swallow. There's Zorko again. He's gone with a big drop kick. He's launched it. Collins, can he get back? Oscar McInerney hunts him down. Collins keeps it alive. Some danger. Big O, brilliant. Hassled him on the full. Who's going to take the free here? Crew cut Kai from the pocket to hammer another one home.
Hold that. Stand.
To punch it out past 50. Bends it around. And post. Should look good.
Rioli, quick bounce. Wants someone to come towards him. Bruce is holding on to his opponent and does a good enough job to disguise it.
You're right, Brand. They've gone grand final, preliminary final, semi-final, preliminary final, semi-final. 17 finals in the last 7 years.
It's been a strong run, hasn't it?
A season of finals football. I mean,
there wouldn't be a team that's done 7 in a row, would there?
You get to these sort of moments, you understand what's required, and the Suns just are not there yet.
Will Ashcroft, a dominant game. Farah, Archie.
Don't lose nothing, though. They'll be disappointed, the Suns, but they don't lose anything.
No, they win out of this season.
Yeah.
It'll hurt tonight, but tomorrow they'll look back and say, what a year we had. We're a contender now. Ball spiked down. Noble traps in. He was content to handball that out. The umpire doesn't let him get away with it.
One of the biggest jumps in footy, though, is from 5 and 6 to 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So McCluggage winds up. She's got a big pack to kick to. It's got to fly. Loman!
These look good. These look bouncy tonight. Charge around the field.
He looks tougher with the hairdo, too.
It does.
Yeah.
I was worried it might be Sampson. He cut it off and he loses his strength, but it's been the opposite.
There's one bloke in the crowd tonight in front of us had tats all over his head, so I'm not sure he's going to go to the next level. Next level next.
Party time now for the Lions. They know they are there. Collingwood on the horizon. Kai has 3.
Do you think those lines were deliberate, King? Or do you think they were deliberate, or do you think it was an accident?
I don't think any part of this process has been deliberate. Not one, for 1 minute do I think he had any intention of finishing like this.
It's like a good luck thing touching his hair now. If you touch his head, it's good luck.
Like Buddha's tummy.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful, though, when you turn up and you draw attention to yourself on the day of the game. You've got to perform. And perform he did. I remember an old teammate of mine, Justin Sherman, turned up with 3 coats of fake tan. The day of the game, we got beaten by 10 goals. He's orange. And, so I didn't go down with Lee in the review on the Monday.
Not a fan of fake tan, Lee Matthews. Surprise.
Not a big fan.
We're going to need a new headshot for him for the prelim, Kai.
See, Lynch, you can go out and get a little touch.
Yeah.
After the game.
Oh, yeah, no, that'd be me. I remember Acker fronted up with beads and braids in his hair. Lee just told him to turn around and take him out.
The Ashcrofts combine. Will to Levi. Ball not disposed of completely. Bruce comes in, much to the delight of the crowd.
He's a cold hero. Born in Papua New Guinea, grew up in Cairns, then to Burleigh Heads, Lions Academy for 7 years at the club. Bunnings forklift driver, Abattoir's worker. He's worked his way into a prelim final at Bruce Reville after being out of the team for a bit this year. Knocked down towards Levi Ashcroft. Hands it up to Archie. Floats it to the pocket. It's a little too wide for all. Farah to take it.
What's the number 1 position they need help, Brownie? The Suns next year. A bit more support, a bit more help.
Well, you can't have enough midfielders. So the midfield depth has been shown up tonight. No question about that. I'm sure Dimmer will keep working on that. Another key position forward, experienced target to be good. Ethan Reed's certainly heading in the right direction, but he's not there yet.
Rowell to Anderson where the game started. Miller, 35-metre forward hand pass. Harris Andrews comes out, slips over. There's a rare opportunity for King. Weller, slight fumble inside 50. Steadies. Weller can't drag it back.
Jed Walter.
Jed Walter's there, but he's a young key forward as well. Bit of talk about him, wasn't there, the last couple of weeks? Charlie Curno's name kept coming up. So I think it's going to, I agree with King, it's an interesting off-season. So no doubt the Suns have become a more attractive club to go to.
You've got to get aggressive. We've seen what Hawthorn have done in the space of 12 months. Battle and embarrass. It's just changed the whole dynamic of that football club. You've got to get on board.
Wilmot wide. Gallup, speaking of key forwards that are growing. Been good for the Lions tonight. They found one.
It's an easy sell down to the Pav too, down at Burleigh Heads there.
One goes, has the pick up from Rayner on the move. Brilliant. Paddled out. Charlie's lurking again. He wants it, Charlie. Sidestep McCluggage, tried to give it to Charlie. Pocket pick by Noble. Still in there. Charlie lays a tackle, turns it over. Fighting hard. Bruce gives it up. McCluggage bangs into row 18.
We just saw a quick shot of David Swallow playing his final game tonight. 249 games. It was the first Sun to 200 games back in 2023. He's been a warrior for this football club.
Been a great player, yeah. he stuck through it all. Yeah, really courageous. One of the most courageous players that's ever played a game.
Rao for his 23rd disposal. That's what they haven't been able to do. Go through the middle of the Gabba all night. Davies, the direct method, and it works.
Yeah, it's been rare, hasn't it, Howie?
Yep.
Just haven't been able to attack through there. And I thought they were a bit tentative. And
Bailey, that's your line, mate.
yeah, they haven't had they've lacked the energy as well, but just feel like they haven't had the options in there and the willingness to have a crack at those ones like the Lions would. You've got to be bold to win finals.
Just one behind tonight for the man from Moe. He can't add with a major.
Yeah, he's looked sore tonight, in fairness to him.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, tough night, but geez, he's a talent. You know, he's had a terrific season.
Why wouldn't you enjoy this if you're Dane Zorko?
Yeah, he's been a fantastic servant. Zorko has been splendid tonight, as has Dunkley. Speaking of picking up big recruits, picked up Dunkley, short pass to Rayner. Winding the clock down now, the crowd know. Big moment this. The Lions have been on the ropes a couple of times this season, but they're preliminary final bound now.
Hangs it up for a while, supported. Fletcher and a long ball, just too much on it for Berry. Back to Miller, and the Lions' chance starts to go around the Gabba. Hewland ducks away from Cameron. Out of side ball. Fiorini. Brisbane are still the kings of Queensland football. They are into yet another preliminary final against the Pies and the Gold Coast Suns. After a history-making season, they are done. Brisbane by a point at quarter time, 25 at half time, 43 at three-quarter time. In the end, 53-point winners. Bailey and Loman kicked 3 apiece. McCluggage with 33. Will Ashcroft was outstanding with 28. Miller with 28. And Anderson 26 for the Gold Coast Suns. Apart from giving up the first 2 goals, they never looked troubled. Alistair Lynch is down on the ground. Lynch, you come in.
Thanks, Howie, here with probably the best player on the ground, Will Ashcroft, mate. That's a big win.
Yeah, massive. Yeah, we are obviously big semi-final. You know, huge for Queensland footy. It was always going to be a spectacle. So we knew we had to put our best foot forward and bring the pressure on, let our offense take care of itself, and glad we got that done.
Pre-game, what was on the whiteboard? Because you come off pretty disappointing game last week, and last start against the Suns, they probably towed you up in the midfield.
Yeah, we're definitely challenged this week, which is probably a good thing for us. We were ready to go. I think just what I said before, the pressure component, really getting at them, chasing from behind, forward squeezing out. We knew they wanted to, flick through the corridor and take the game on forward, so we had to really match them and hump them there. And we knew that back that way, our offense would take care of itself. So, I think that's how we want to play our footy, and it was good to play it tonight.
You come up against the Suns, you always got to keep your eye out on their best players, Anderson, Rao in particular. You must be wrapped with the way Andrew Dunkley, or Josh Dunkley, goes about it.
Mate, he's unbelievable. He's the best team I've ever played with. I think a lot of guys would say that or have already said that. Such a selfless competitor. He lives for these moments, and he was super tonight.
And how are you feeling, mate? You look like you were just running on top of the ground, especially in the first half. You run, the ability to hit targets are just first class.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. You always get yourself up for big finals, and this is what I play footy for. And what we felt last year, we want to feel that again so badly. So every moment, every session, every game we face, and another opportunity to get back to there. We're just going to focus on next week now and get to work again this week.
And the team, obviously, in the midfield did very well. But your transition game got up and going. Harris seemed to get control down back, and Dane Zorko looked like he had the confidence back to hit targets in the corridor.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's just the product of our snap locate, really, shutting their offense down, stopping their handball receives, and they can just do their work back there and slingshot back the other way. So, luckily we were able to do that again tonight, and I think it's just a mindset thing. It's all discipline. It's no skill required to be defensively on, so keep bringing that as much as we can.
it looked like he had a smile on the face when you see Big O in the midfield. Good to see him back and playing well.
Yeah, absolutely love him. He's a cult hero probably for us, and provides so much for us on the field and also off the field as well. He's such an inspiration for so many. With how it went down for him last year, he was just so selfless, and how he supported 40 and what he provides off field is second to none. So good to have him back at him.
Yeah, great to have him back out there. We spoke about this before. Who gets the most nervous, mum or dad in the stands? Because we saw Dad, he was standing at the back of the grandstand all day.
You probably know the answer to that better than I do, but I think he likes to keep his distance, watch the footy, really lock in, focus on it. He probably gets more nervous than Levi and I do. So he's great support for us, but he gets very, very nervous before games.
He got nervous before the game. Quite rightly, he'd be very proud of you two boys and the team effort tonight. Well done.
Thanks, Richie. Appreciate it.
Well done to Alistair Lynch and Will Ashcroft. 28 disposals, 2 goals, 1. So next Saturday on your home of footy, Fox, 4K, only place to watch it, Collingwood taking on Brisbane. A replica of the grand final a couple of years ago that Collingwood pinched. In the end, Brisbane 14-16-100. The Gold Coast Suns 6-11-47. Sarah, it is the Brisbane Lions by 53 points. Collingwood next Saturday evening.
And what a box office matchup that will be. A preliminary final at the MCG, a ground the Brisbane Lions play so well now. As Jason Dunsell and Lee Matthews, we look at the end of the career of a wonderful servant of the Gold Coast Suns, David Swallow.
He has been a superstar for this club, hasn't he? From the very start, he stuck through the really tough times. Would have been tempted, I suspect, at times maybe to head back south and maybe look for a team that's going to be a bit more competitive, but he stayed there and he's been able to taste a bit of finals football before he's finished, and he can certainly hold his head high. He's incredibly well respected, and it'll be a big loss to the club. Hopefully they keep him involved in some capacity, because he's one of those quality people there that you like to see involved.
Yeah, he obviously is been a great club person, apart from a very good player. Very sad day, isn't it, when you walk off the field for the last time?
Yep.
It is a very sad time for David Swallow, but at the same time, he certainly was the man who got them home last week, got them into the second week of the finals, but an end of a career.
A magical moment, as you said, Lee, last week against the Fremantle Dockers. Disappointment tonight, but I'm sure his team on reflection will look at a year for the Gold Coast Suns where they played finals for the first time, they won their first final. I think they get a tick this year, Jason.
100%. Making the finals was important, but taking that extra step and winning your first one, I think that sets you up for a quicker acceleration of form over the coming next season or two. There's no reason why they can't be back here again in September next season, perhaps competing deeper into the final series.
Lovely to see a smile on the face of David Swallow as he hugs his family and friends and soaks up the last time out on the arena as an AFL footballer, and the Gold Coast Suns make their way off the Gabba on a night for the Brisbane Lions where they were pretty ruthless, and I think they've sent a bit of a warning to the rest of the competition, Lee. They are not out of the race for the flag.
No, they certainly aren't. No, that was a demolition. I mean, they jumped out of the blocks, didn't they, the Suns, for about 5 minutes, but then the Lions got hold of the game from that point onwards, and they'd won by, 9 goals, 5, so a lot of scoring shots. They've dominated the game.
And I think without Lockie Neal in the side, to dominate the clearances against the likes of Rowell and Anderson and Davies, who's been in good form, it was super impressive. They dominated territory. They won the contested possession. We'd spoken about that, so that's the last 11 matches between these two. Whoever's won contested possession has won the game. So everything they needed to do tonight, they have done, the Brisbane Lions, and given themselves another crack in the Final Four.
Cam Rayner on the screen there. What a powerhouse he is when he's at his best. His ability to break tackles tonight was so eye-catching. And the Ashcroft brothers, they're big game performers, aren't they? Will Ashcroft last year, obviously, Norm Smith medalist, and again tonight, the #1 highest rated player in the ground.
Well, it's interesting when they say they're a season side, they are the Lions, because tonight they had 3 teenagers and another 6 under 22. So they've got half a team that's actually, they're almost at the beginning of their careers, and including obviously the 2 Ashcroft boys, Will and Levi. So, yeah, they've got plenty of youth in their team. They've got a good future given where they are right now.
Exactly right.
And the demographics of their team.
It's good balance. These young players are going to grow into club stalwarts, and then you recruit players around them, and there's no reason why the Lions can't stay at the top for an extended period of time.
David King has joined us from the commentary box. That was a powerful performance. What is Dane Zorko doing there? Trying to be serious for a moment.
I think the boys are spot on. You want to see the signature of your game plan when you're playing big games like this, Lee. I think Chris Fagan would be absolutely thrilled with their counter-punching game out of the back half to see it so aggressive and so effective.
Well, they were. I mean, that was the thing that the Suns couldn't play the tempo, could they? When they tried to run the ball and they were under pressure, they just turned the ball over too often, and the Lions just got them on the way back. But the Lions have got the ability to play really high-tempo football, to be quick and accurate at the same time.
So many match winners as well. It's been spoken at length about the depth that this side possesses, the fact that they've got probably 10 players who have that X factor, who have that kind of ability to turn a game, and we saw plenty of that tonight.
Well, I think that's why a lot of people have commented in recent weeks that the Brisbane Lions best is as good, if not better, than anybody else's, because there are so many of those type of players that can really share the workload, that can carry it when they get on a roll and have such a big impact in the game. Now, Lachie Neale, we spoke to him pre-game.
Get him in the hyperbaric chamber, Jason.
There's still no scientific evidence about the hyperbaric chamber, whether it actually works. But he's doing everything he can to keep that slimmest of hopes alive for a possible grand final return.
Nothing wrong with being optimistic, but I think he's being very optimistic, but nothing wrong with that.
Well, when you look at the clearance game tonight, the Gold Coast Suns, that's their strength. That's how they've got to this point of the season. That's their third worst performance for the last 5 seasons. They've come a long way in a short space of time under Damien Hardwick, but they'd be bitterly disappointed with what they did at the coalface tonight.
Yeah, they were. It was interesting how the Lions decided to play the 2 big ruckmen. I mean, Sam Day hasn't been doing enough as a forward ruckman, so okay, he didn't have a lot to lose, but I thought they double-teamed Jared Witts, and while he might have got his hand to the ball fairly regularly, certainly that wasn't influential of what happened at ground level. And at ground level, Ashcroft and McCluggage and Dunkley, and Rayner. I mean, when Rayner plays like that, where he is just impossible to tackle, gee, he adds so much to the Lions.
You talk about not able to score and get out of the clearances, Kingy. Let's be honest, anytime they look like it, Josh Dunkley just tackled someone. Yeah. He tackled everybody on the ground 5 times over. He was like a brick wall.
He did. He looked like the meanest man out there, didn't he? Lohman looked like the meanest, but Dunkley was the meanest. His ability to tackle one arm and still get the full body to ground was a feature.
Beautiful.
18 was the final number.
Yeah, ridiculous.
They're numbers you never hear of.
Not for a season.
Not in the final.
Do you ever tackle? You had the ball more often than
you can't tackle with your ball in your hand, David. I'm telling you that.
Nice comeback at Lee Matthews, AFL Hall of Fame legend, on our Fox Footy call team tonight, and scenes of pure joy in the Lions rooms. They've booked a spot in the preliminary final. That's what you spend all year, all summer, trying to get to. Give yourself a chance to win the prelim and book a grand final spot.
It is, and I like this. It's a whole of club approach. So they're sharing with all the players that aren't out there, that whether they're injured or haven't been able to get a game, everyone's sharing in the success and being a part of it.
Can I ask you the same question but a different way? Do they need Lachie Neale to win the flag?
Well, you'd have to argue. If you had asked me before tonight, I would have said yes. But when you see a midfield performance like that tonight, you say, well, why can't they do it with that? Why can't they?
Yeah, they've beaten Fremantle in Perth. They've beaten Hawthorn up here last round, and tonight they beat the Suns. So yeah, they've played really good footy without Lachie. So they've got a lot of midfield depth.
There's enough talent in that team to win without Lachie Neale.
Look how many people are in the rooms there too, Lee. It's a big club environment at the minute as we head down there to listen to the song.
All right, folks, here we go. Game, set, match. Brisbane Lions getting the job done very comfortably this evening. 14-16, 100. Hit the magical 100. 6-11, 47, the Suns. Gold Coast Suns. 1 goal, 2 in that final turn. The Brisbane Lions, 2 goals, 6. Kicking a little bit wayward, but we should see Brisbane taking on Collingwood for a spot in the grand final next Saturday. I think that's about 5... I think they were saying 5:15 p.m. So there we go. That's going to be a cracking game. And, of course, Geelong will take on the Hawks in the other match. And then the winners will play off in the grand final. So it should be two classic games next Saturday. Make sure you tune on in. Hopefully I'll be around to cover both of those games for everyone, especially following my Collingwood side. Good luck to all the Brisbane fans out there. Of course, the poll got it right today. 66% of the vote went for the Brisbane Lions. There we go, big margin this afternoon. 53-point winners to Brisbane. They got the job done easily, even without Lachie Neale, as I was saying. They were very, very good. But on the other hand, in the Gold Coast, they were very, very poor today. No one stood up for the Gold Coast Suns, which is very disappointing, getting into the second semi-final. Oh, it's the first time they've hit the finals. They won their first, lost the second. Stepping stone for the Gold Coast Suns, but just way too good were the Brisbane Lions. Just before we wrap this up, let's just have a look at the goal scorers for the game and the stats, and we'll let you go. Kai Lohmann and Zach Bailey topped the table with 3 apiece for the Lions. Logan Morris, Will Ashcroft, both with 2 each. Cam Rayner, Ty Gallup, Jared Berry, Callum Achie, singles there for the Brisbane Lions, while the Gold Coast Suns, Ben King, their best goal scorer with 2 goals. Matty Rowell, Sam Flanders, Noah Anderson, Ben Ainsworth, all with singles. Disposal getters out on the ground. There was only one in the 30s. Of course, that was Hugh McCluggage from Brisbane. 33 touches, 11 kicks, 22 handballs, 2 marks, 3 tackles, 10 clearances. Well done to him. Tuke Miller crept up that table there for the Gold Coast Suns. 28 disposals, 2 clearances, 9 kicks, 19 handballs. Will Ashcroft, 28. Berry 27, Zorko 26 with Darcy Wilmot. Noah Anderson for the Suns 26. Matty Rowell ended up with 23. Just didn't quite have that impact that the Suns were hoping for this evening. Just the 6 clearances. Did kick a goal though, did Matt Rowell. Josh Dunkley, not a too bad of an effort there on 20 with Harris Andrews. Who else we got there? Dan Rioli there for the Suns, if you like him. He had 16 touches. Didn't trouble the scoreboard at all. Cam Rayner, the raging bull, there we go, 1 goal, 3. Tell you what, he played a ripping game as well. Zach Bailey, not too bad, 16 touches, 10 kicks, 3 goals, 1 for him too. Charlie Cameron had a few snaps on goal with his 14 touches. Got a little bit of the ball in hand. Just 3 behinds there for Brum Brum Charlie. There we go. As I said, Kai Lohmann was pretty good, 3 goals, 1 off his 7 kicks, 13 disposals. There we go. Ben Ainsworth, 10 disposals there for the Gold Coast Suns. McAndrew, he's pretty quiet this evening. Just the 9 disposals. Jared Witts also, just the 8 disposals. No real impact on the game, the big man, although he did have 45 hitouts. And, of course, is it David Swallow there? He'll be retiring. 6 disposals there for David. Just have a look at the team stats. Let me just reload that up, get the proper numbers up for everyone out there. It was Brisbane Lions by 56. 56 disposals plus was to the Brisbane Lions. Well, the inside 50s, there was only 11 the difference there. It's the Brisbane Lions 60, the Gold Coast Suns 49. Disposal efficiency was pretty good for both teams. Pretty accurate there. 72.7, 72.6 both teams. Free kicks, well, it was the Gold Coast Suns that actually got on top in that department. 19-13, they were plus 6 there. But look, it was reasonably well umpired the game. Got to congratulate the umpires. They did a reasonably good job. Hitouts, the Suns on top there by 9. The clearances, though, the Lions were just way, way too good. They were plus 18 there. 12-6 in the centre clearances, so plus 6. Good job, Lions. Plus 12 in the stoppage clearances, 31-19 there. Contested possessions, reasonably close there, 130, 123. Of course, the uncontested Lions, normally in front of other teams there, they got that short chipping game going, and they certainly did have that going okay this evening. The marks, there we go, it was plus 29 to the Lions. Marks inside 50. Suns came back not too bad there. It was 12-9, plus 3 to the Lions, so both teams had their opportunity and both contesting the ball well in the air. 10 contested marks each. Looking at the tackle count now, the Suns did lift their tackle count there. It was very low in the opening term, but good to see the tackle count started to rise a bit. 63-56, 12-10 inside 50 tackles, so both teams bringing a little bit of pressure there. But look, this evening, folks, the Brisbane Lions were just way too classy. Look, they're experienced. They've been there. They've done that before, year after year. They know what it's about to be in finals, what finals football is all about. And the Gold Coast Suns been the first time in their club's history of making the finals this year. That's a good learning curve, good learning step for them. I'm sure they'll take plenty out of the final series this year. I expect the Gold Coast Suns to certainly bounce back over the summer and come out of the gates running next season when it opens for season 2026. But tonight, Brisbane Lions were just way too good. Look, they were in control of the game from about 5 minutes into the opening term. And that's all she wrote. And of course, the Brisbane Lions ended up extending that margin to 53-point winners. Fantastic win there by the Lions. But next week, of course, folks, don't forget, the Brisbane taking on Collingwood at the MCG for a spot in the grand final. I'll tell you what, that's going to be a ring-a-ding-ding game. One of the old classics going off against each other to make the grand final. And, of course, Geelong taking on Hawthorn. Two fascinating games next week. I tell you what, they're going to be fantastic. You couldn't ask or couldn't write a better script for two finals and four better teams to have a chance to have a spot in 2025 Premiership season to go into the grand final. All right, folks, thanks everyone for coming on in, for tuning on in. Don't forget, next week we'll be back up and running with the footy. Of course, we'll be seeing who's going to make the grand final next week. It's going to be super duper exciting. Anyway, folks, that's all I've got for now. I'll just leave you back down to the commentators and with Fags, and then I'll head on out. Cheers, everyone.
Long game, and we got on to Gold Coast on Monday pretty much, didn't we? So
some really encouraging signs tonight. Looked like Ty Gallop started to feel comfortable as well.
Yeah, well, he's 4 or 5 games in now. We got high hopes for him. He's a magnificent competitor. Yep. His defensive work's been good the first few weeks, but tonight I sort of encouraged him for the game. I said, mate, you've got to go for marks. You know, you're a really good mark.
I think he's kicked his first goal now too, so hopefully
his goal
out of the way. So no,
he's got a big set of shoulders on him too, doesn't he? Oh my word, he looks like a freestyler. No, he was very good, but the energy in the group was there tonight, Fags. Certainly looked across the board, spoke to whoever dunks, your energy guys there, Cameron, Lohman, Wilmot, Rayner, they were fantastic.
They were. We were stunned by last week's performance. I mean, it wasn't that bad. Geelong were fantastic, but we knew that wasn't a real representation of ourselves, and we knew that last time we played the Gold Coast, that wasn't us either, and we just wanted to show them that.
Did you do Kyle Lohman's hair before the game?
No, I think he went to get a haircut yesterday, and the hairdresser made a mistake, so it had to all come off. That's the word, that's the story.
Now, what must have happened?
Including those 2 lines in the side.
You must have been prickly during the week, because we normally have Darcy Wilmot goes past about this time of night and
he's scared of
finger in your ear.
He might do it still.
Yeah, he might do. We'll let you off, mate. Great win tonight.
Thank you very much.
Well done on your role. Fantastic, and a big build up to a massive game at the MCG.
Big game next week,
absolutely. Back up to you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Well done, Lynchy and Brownie, and a big thanks to Josh Dunkley and Chris Fagan for joining us and providing a few laughs and some insights on tonight's game. Dunkley and those tackles, Lee. I mean, is there anything coaches love more than a guy that has that single-minded commitment to the cause?
He's been a fantastic recruit for the Lions over the last few years, and they love playing with him because he does take that one-on-one role. I mean, he finds the ball himself, but he'll take on the opposition's main ball with around the middle as he did tonight, and they just... And the later tackles, it's amazing. It's amazing how much pressure one player can create towards the opposition.
But on top of those tackles, I mean, to keep Rail the 23 possessions, I know he drifted forward, he kicked the goal, but he didn't dominate clearances, and that's well below his normal output. He didn't have that impact on the game that he could have threatened to have very early on. So this was a masterful performance. I mean, this guy, I love him. He's one of those pillars that you can build a foundation upon at a footy club.
We talk a lot about the specifics of strategy and tactics in the game. We don't talk enough about the motivation for one player to beat another player. Chris Fagan's done a great job tonight.
Yeah, well, he has. But I mean, in Josh Dunkley, though, I mean, he's had the Rail matchup mostly over the last 3 times they played. And he got Rail back here in round 8. Rail got him a little bit in round 20, or a big bit. It's amazing how he can just, Josh Dunkley can just have a look at what happened and reassess. And today he certainly got the points.
So, Kingy, you talk about beating a player, and he beats him. I guess because you've got a player like Dunkley in your arsenal as a coach, you can use it. Damien Hardwick probably doesn't have that type to put against a Hugh McCluggage who bounced back with a 30-plus possession game and 10 clearances. Do you need to have someone in your arsenal that you can throw on and get that job done?
I think the game's telling us now, or certainly the coaches are telling us that you do. I mean, Geelong are going with 2, aren't they? O'Connor and Mullen. So maybe you need minimum 1 that you can go to, even just the start of the game.
But they're different philosophies, and we spoke to Damien Hardwick pre-game and said, no, we'll back ourselves.
Yeah. But maybe that's the stage they're at, Lee.
But it's not that easy. I mean, to do what a Josh Dunkley role, that most weeks he'll take an opponent. He still gets a ball himself, but he's accountable for his opponent. I mean, there's not a lot of players in the competition that have got that characteristic in their play, I reckon. So every coach would love to have one, as the Lions love having Josh Dunkley. But, it's not as easy to find a player who can play that function.
I reckon Chris Fagan loves having Dane Zorko in his side. Our eyes lit up at the start of the game when he went to Tuka Miller. It wasn't quite as spicy as we were anticipating. There wasn't quite the fierce contest between the two that there has been in the past, but he is down in the rooms of Lynchy and Brownie.
Thanks, Sarah. Yes, Dane, that was there was a bit of a few barbs thrown during the week that maybe you and Took might go head-to-head. You lined up on each other. Very respectful and constrained by you.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of us had a game to play next week, right? So we had to be very careful. But, he plays such an important role for them. Corridor forward, he gets up really high, and then his ability to run long is enormous. So I said to Fags and our backline coach, I wanted that matchup. You know, I just wanted to see if I could test myself against him. And
so when did that come up?
Monday.
Monday, and so you want to make sure that you cover him.
Yeah, he's just so important to them, and it allows then Jasper and Darcy to be quite expansive and, come off their man. If I knew I could take him out of it somewhat, he's a big scoring source for them. So, I wanted that responsibility this week, and I think I did all right.
So what'd you do? You put a photo on your mirror of him, or put the crosshairs on him? Have a chat to him?
Nah, not really. Dale Morris just cut a few clips of his patterns that he likes to run. So, obviously he's a better runner than me, but I was able to cut my angles really well and not have to run as far and as deep. So Fags challenged me to get forward with him because he got so deep at half-time, and he played midfield for the rest of the game after that.
How are you guys so consistent? 2019, since then, your finals record is unbelievable as a team. Just consistently turn up week in, week out.
Yeah, I think when you got players like Josh Dunkley leading the way, the effort that he brings, the energy he brings, I mean, it's very easy to jump on the back of that. Obviously, we recruited really well, and we've got such fantastic players that want to come to our club. So, and on top of that, we've got emerging talent as well. I mean, Levi did a fantastic job tonight. Sam Marshall, Bruce Ravel. So these guys come in and are able to learn off the likes Dunkley, McCluggage, Lockie Neal. And then from there, we've been able to create a really solid game plan that we know stands up in finals football.
So you got with the injuries, you get opportunities. So you got 8 players, 22 or under. And Gallup was another one that showed some. Tell us a little bit about him, because we've only seen bits and pieces, obviously. But tonight, especially in the second half, it looked like he started to really mature and feel comfortable.
Well, he got robbed last week, didn't he? Well, that wasn't great. But he was honestly, some of his ability to just halve contests, bring that ball to ground, but he's chasing pressure. When it hits the ground, he just goes after it, and that's the energy that a young kid brings, right? So when he's doing that, it brings Kai Lohman into the game, Charlie Cameron, Cal Archie, and off that you're able to roll. So for a third or fourth gamer to be able to bring that into our side and take such a big responsibility is enormous.
Yeah, the contest head of the ball were better tonight. It's just been an area of concern the last few weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, the Hawthorn game, we felt as though we got outmarked a little bit. We still created enough shots, but we weren't efficient enough. Geelong last week, I thought we just didn't get the ball forward enough. We gave our forwards, shocking opportunities. So
not direct enough.
Yeah, that's right. So tonight we got back to our finals brand of football, knock-ons, get it forward, turn them around, and we did that well.
And tell us a little bit of things. We were reviewing last week's game, the things that didn't quite work. You got chopped off in the corridor a couple of times. So what's Fags say to you on Monday when you're reviewing those?
Nothing.
Nothing, just let you go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I've never seen you actually not take one of those shots.
I know my role and what it is to the team, right? So he leaves it up to me to make those decisions. If it comes off, great. If it doesn't, so be it. I'm going to keep going for them. That's my role. So the boys know that, and at times I get it wrong, but I can't get down on it because...
Speaking of our boys...
Trying to find out who comes
what's going on here?
Well,
What do you reckon, Zorks? Come on.
I love it.
You getting there?
Get in there, mate.
Cheers.
I love it. You tell the story, but you got a haircut that was no good. Is that right?
Yeah, and then I'm just trying to photo a brownie, and they've just shaved the thing. What do you reckon, brownie?
Well, so you reckon I should get the lines in the side of me head?
You got to do something with it, I reckon, Brad.
I tell you what, if you win the flag, I'll get the lines in the side of my head.
Sounds good.
Oh, very good.
You would have been wrapped tonight when you got a young core group that really stood up and gave some enormous energy in that game.
Yeah, it was great. Really special win. We brought a lot of energy to the game and had a big emphasis on pressure and stopping their quick ball movement. And the boys are great. So yeah, it was really fun.
Did you tell Zorks to stop mucking around with the ball like you did last week and actually get it down to you boys?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah,
good.
It's good though.
Good feedback.
Yeah.
And one of the changes at the other end of the spectrum, we had Oscar McInerney come back in after some time in the twos, but him and Darcy Fort provided a real target deep.
Yeah, they were good. They provided a contest and did exactly what we needed to do. It was really easy to read the ball off the drop of the ball and as well and get some opportunities that way. But they provided a great contest and did a great work in the centre as well.
And what about some of your celebrations that you're going on with?
A bit too much, or
no, chuck it out there. I mean, Brownie and I were really boring. Just have a look at some of it with a new. We've got to change your promo shot to start with. Now you're strutting around. Were you a bit nervous coming and meeting all the boys?
Yeah, the head shape's a bit on.
And then the lines. So you got out there early, and then it's always good when you're celebrating because you know the team's going all right.
Good grab, he liked that one.
Good goal. When he played on, I can tell you that for free.
Yeah. Really dropped this.
I felt like the energy from the younger players there, including Kai. Your energisers, Zorks, which you're one of, but you're obviously one of the veterans, but all those guys were really sharp tonight.
Yeah, they were, but it's really important how we control that and how we get them to measure it into the certain things that we need, right? So a lot of their energy tonight was brought into that defensive side of the game, and they did that really well, and off the back of that, they got the rewards in front of goal. There's no point kicking the flashy goals if you're not going to do the hard work to start with, and, Kai, Cal, Charlie Cameron, they just kept coming at them all night, which was absolutely enormous, and off the back of that, they can build their game.
Now, you guys have been there before. You're 7 days away from a very big game at the MCG. You must be jumping out of your skin. 95,000 there.
Yeah, I mean, we had that similar experience about 6 weeks ago when we played them at the MCG. Both crowds are going to turn up in numbers. It's great. It's great for these younger guys to keep getting that experience as well. And it's something we're really looking forward to. That's why you play.
You send a request in for 30 tickets there?
Yeah, got a bit of family down there, so get the tickets in the fam and the friends, but I'll have to say no to a few. Damn.
Sell a couple off.
No, we
can't say that.
We wouldn't be going that, but no, well done, great win, great week, massive finals campaign for you guys. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ben.
Well done, boys. Good
well
job.
done. Let that hair grow.
I like your hair. Stick with the hair.
Yeah, Brady likes it.
Yeah, I like it, mate.
Well done.
Well done, guys. What a good, fun group. It feels like Dane Zorko's losing his voice. We know he likes to talk a lot out there. I think it was good we wrapped the interview up while he still got his voice.
They're starting to get a little bit loose, the boys down there. They're just having fun. It's just a great celebration.
Lynchy and Brownie are getting loose.
Yes, big time.
Our boys. All right, we're going to have a look at some full-time highlights with thanks to Menu Log, and we've spoken about a lot of the match winners tonight. Let's talk about Hugh McCluggage. 14 disposals last week, well clamped by the Cats, and tonight he turned it on David King.
Well, the star factor players just go and catch and kill their own, don't they? They win their own ball. He's 15 contested possessions tonight, 10 of those were clearances. And that's just where he's been down. I mean, if you rely on other people to farm you the ball at this level, you're in a bit of trouble, Lee. And I just thought his proactive first-to-move approach from clearance was brilliant.
Well, he's probably playing on no Anderson, I guess, if you say there's the one-on-one matchup. But no, he's outstanding. A lot of the ball, used it really well. 10 clearances, I mean, so we got the ball running out of the stop. Again, he's very hard to tackle as well.
he's an exciting player when he's up and running. It's just he's turned from what was a good wingman into a would-be midfielder into a full-time mid now that can do it all. He's got no weaknesses in his game, but he did get tagged out of it last week, and it's really interesting that he's able to go head-to-head and come back to his very best. There's got to be a message in there somewhere for some coaches just to say, well, I'm not just going to go with my system. Maybe we can follow the lead of what other clubs are doing.
So what does Fly do next week?
Won't tag. They don't like to tag either, do they?
Collingwood, do they?
They don't do it.
No. Well, we will wait and see. We're going to have a look now at our number one, with thanks to Ford Ranger. It is the number one ranked player on the ground, Will Ashcroft. So many superlatives when you look at this young man who really is so young in his football career, has already achieved so much, and Lee, his ability to perform on the big stage means that his stature is going to continue to grow.
Well, he won the Norm Smith medal last year, so that's about as good as you can get. But that is what he does better than almost anyone, that hand to foot. Like, he just can do it in a split second, and that enables him to have the odd snap at goal. But he's just really, his hands are so clean. He controls the ball first field and then can just really distribute it really quickly by hand and foot. So, yeah, really a really talented player.
Lots of midfielders in the game, but the ones that hit the scoreboard with regularity, they're incredibly valuable.
Lee, did you love the vision we saw throughout the match of Marcus, who, of course, you spent a lot of time coaching? He looked a bit stressed.
I think one thing fathers of players say they're much more nervous being the father of a player of a game than when they played themselves. And it looked like choppers, as we call Marcus Ashcroft, was finding somewhere to hide as much as anything. He was
more
just by
chilled
himself.
when he was playing himself. He certainly had a wonderful game. And David King, it's off the back of work rate, yeah? Like his ability to run and work is unparalleled.
Yeah, and they were slightly off the Suns. I thought they were gettable tonight post-clearance or immediately post-clearance, and Ashcroft was the one that really put it to them. We talked just a moment ago about McCluggage, and he probably did the damage around that sort of 15 to 20 metre bubble, but Ashcroft, he just exploded. He just worked from stoppage, from full length of the ground, from defensive 50 all the way forward. And the surge runs like this, it just gives you the extra number, that extra player turning up in a dangerous part of the ground. He knows not to track wide because they're going to bring the ball back into the corridor. And this is why he's so aggressive and so damaging. 11 score involvements, number one player out on the field. Here, he just assesses, where's it going? I know I'm of no value to my team going in. I'll stay out and I'll create the overlap run on the outside. He's always there, Lee.
Yeah. No, he's a wonderful player. I mean, he's only his third year now, so he's going to have a long career ahead of him and be a really valuable player for the Lions along the way.
Yeah, that transition work from the Lions was top-notch tonight.
Yeah, just have a look at the numbers tonight. 53 points. You know, I think it was at one point in the last quarter. So for the first three quarters, when the game was really hot, they just blew them away, moving the ball from the defensive half. Last week against Geelong, it was 3 goals too. So that's the scope of improvement that they've had, and that is them, Lee and Jason. I think if they're to win the flag, it'll be off their ball movement, not necessarily their clearance or contest game.
Yeah, and the fact that they're prepared to take risks, and we saw a lot of times where they attacked down the corridor, and some of them were almost 50-50 balls, but they're happy to have it in that area because they back their players to win the ball, and then they know it's a perfect opportunity to get a good score on the board from that position. So they'll continue to attack, they'll continue to use the corridor, but I suspect opposition teams will be very quick to try and shut that corridor down as well.
Can't wait for the preliminary final already.
Collingwood played very much like the Lions. I mean, they played really high-tempo football. I mean, when you talk about a Will Ashcroft and a Nick Dacos, I mean, young players who've got eyes in the back of the head. They just know where everyone is on the field and react accordingly.
All right, let's head to the newsroom because David Zeta has an update on the Brisbane Lions superstar that is Lachie Neale. He joined us earlier on Fox Footy. David, are you telling us he's a chance?
Well, that's what he's telling us at the moment. So quite extraordinary comments from him in the pre-game. I think he's telling everyone who will listen that he is still a chance, spending hours a day inside a hyperbaric chamber to try and get himself right for potentially returning within 3 weeks of what should be a 4 to 6 week calf tear. So we'll hear from the man himself, the two-time Brownlow medalist. This is what he had to tell you guys on Fox Footy in the pre-game.
Rumour has it you've been using the hyperbaric chamber. If they were to win tonight and win next week, is there a chance?
I'm giving myself like a 50% chance, but I think the physios and the doctors and the rest of the medical fraternity are giving me about a 1% chance. So I think I spoke about it, I think, on radio this afternoon, but I think in 20 years' time, I'd be kicking myself if I just didn't try everything and in my power to get up for it. And if the dominoes fall my way and that 1% does come through, then it'd be an amazing story.
So I think the question is for you all on the panel, if Lachie Neale comes to you in grand final week, if they get there obviously, and says, Coach, I'm ready to go, put me in, how are you responding to that? Because that is a very difficult call to make.
Yeah, I think the first thing the coach does, Lee, is he goes to the medical team and says, tell me what I can do here.
Yeah, well, I think the medical team will be the first, but he'd have to train the whole of grand final week. In other words, not just the day before the game. If you've got a muscular injury like that, you'd have to get through the two really big sessions, I would have thought, to say that, yeah, you're ready to play the game. Otherwise, the risk would just be too great.
And so would you take him into a grand final if he was fit enough to play a half of the game, similar to what Josh Kelly did for the Giants last week, where he came on and had that impact, or do you want to get more out of him?
No, when you've got a muscular injury, the muscle could just go kaput, So you'd have to actually do the whole week's training leading into a grand final to have, any thought that, okay, you're ready to play a grand final. You couldn't just, like some injuries you do, the day before the game, as long as you're okay, you'd play them. But this one, you'd have to be pretty much 100% 4 or 5 days from the grand final.
We've seen Chris Scott not play Max Holmes after being declared fit to go, training the house down, doing everything.
The muscular injuries are really hard, particularly calf muscles. I mean, they can go again pretty easily unless you're absolutely 100%.
Not quite Nigel Lappin and the ribs, is it? It's a little bit different.
You don't run on your ribs.
You don't run on your ribs. That's a very good call. All right. Thank you very much to David Zeta in the newsroom. There's going to be plenty more news as we head towards the preliminary finals, which are now locked in. So Friday night, it will be Hawthorn and Geelong, two teams with huge finals history. The Cats have been pretty flawless in the lead up to this. They've got the week off. The Hawks, they have momentum after 2 gutsy wins on the road. It all shapes up to be an absolute cracker. 6:30 p.m. our coverage kicks off on Fox Footy. Preliminary final action not too far away.